everyone, welcome to Just Hangouts, the official podcast of Just Nerds, where we just hang and talk about any interesting topics we have related to TV shows, movies, games, and more. I am Jonathan, and I am the host of today's episode, almost stumbled there, and with me, as always, is my co-host, the video game legend, Blake.
That's the biggest lie I've heard in a long time.
It's just how I feel, you know?
It's
how I feel.
I'm glad you feel that way. It makes me blush a little bit, but thanks, man. Hello, everybody. It's me, Blake. I don't have too much to say. I'm kind of on the spot now. I don't know how to say. I'm so nervous.
It's been a while, but you could just say hello, you know?
Hi. I forgot what I was going to say. God dang it. I just had a thought, and I was like, oh, shoot. It was like, you know, it's like when you have a train of thought, two of them that are running at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
And they're kind of just like, oh, no, and then they kind of crash into each other, and it's horrible, horrible mess.
Yeah, I get you.
So, I apologize.
That's okay. I mean, we it's been a little bit since we've done a podcast or, like, made a video together. Actually, well, we just, as of this recording, we just had reacted to Smash. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was actually yesterday.
The new Smash character.
At the time of this recording.
The Min.
Yes.
And
yes,
Blake I know Blake was tired as well because we woke up at 6:30 and we both got a little sleep. But he had a lot more energy than me in that video because I was like barely talking in that.
Yeah, I mean, well, the only reason is just because like I was, I think I was just like, but even then, I still think I stumbled through it pretty
Blake's
poorly.
more of a morning person than I am. Like 100%.
Which is crazy because I'm like the nightest, owlest person I could think of.
But you wake up so early. You wake up so early.
Not really. The only reason I would wake up early is because of Smash Brothers. Like Smash Brothers is like the main reason that I would get up.
But like, what time do you usually wake up though?
Usually, if I have nothing better to do, like an hour before we're recording this, which is like 11 o'clock. So I'm pretty bad. I mean,
you wake up at 11.
Yeah, I woke up at like 11. I'm pretty bad. I'm pretty garbage.
Usually, maybe it's because of school, but I feel like you would usually like you send me something at 3, and then you would send me something like at 8 a.m. and I go, what the heck? I went to bed. I went to bed like at 1, and I woke up at like 10.
If that's true, then I mean, then I'm wrong and crazy. But I don't know, man. I'm pretty consistent with my inconsistency. So
that is true. But yeah, I was tired, but also I was like, yeah, it's Arms. It's gonna be a cool character. But don't have any attachment to Arms, so I was like,
yeah. I mean, I don't have any like attachment in terms of like a personal regard, but I do find the characters interesting and cool. And like I said, I think I said this beforehand. I was surprised that there wasn't one in the base roster, because an Inkling got in, and I was like, oh, no Arms, okay. And then they made it a guest character. I'm like,
Sakurai put a reason for that, right? Like it was just late in development, right?
I mean, you think he justified almost every character that they were considering putting in the base roster. Something like that. That's what I remember. I remember, like, sometime after the game came out, there was a, he did say something like, I know Rex,
I think Arms also, like, it was going to be in, or, like, not was going to, but it would have, but we started, like, too late. But we're too late down development to put it in.
Yeah.
But I feel like if Arms were bigger, it would have been probably in the first DLC. Probably.
That makes sense. Well, the same thing probably happened with Byleth, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, because Three Houses was so big, Byleth was a DLC character in Pack 1.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think it would have been... I think Arms would have gotten there faster, though, if it was still, alive kicking.
Yeah. Definitely interesting the way this DLC pack's going to play out. I mean, I honestly wonder if we're just going to get, like, 5 more Nintendo reps, or are they going to go all out and go for big boys? I don't know.
Either way, I'm excited,
Yeah,
even if it's just Nintendo
exciting.
First party, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Because third party is amazing, but there's something about seeing the next, like, Nintendo character from a new IP being in Smash. That's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I think Rex would probably be... We talked about that on our reaction. We talked about Rex probably being the most likely next, if they go with more
First part.
What's the word? First part. I wanted a more creative word, but creativity section of the brain's on break right now. No, but like obviously someone who's more, like first party. I feel like Rex makes the most sense, because I feel like he's the last like really big character that everybody wants from first party Nintendo. I can't think of anybody else. Like, I really can't.
You did send me the tweet of it's Elma, right, from X?
Yeah,
but X. I have heard a few people do want that.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is the big sequel that is on the
2 is on the more, a lot more popular than X.
Yeah, no hate on X. It's just like
there's a lot of hate on X actually.
Is there?
Yeah, it's not. I feel like even like Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and there's fighting between 1 and 2. Like people who like 1 say 2 is trash, but I feel like even people who like 1 and 2 are like X. It was interesting direction.
That's interesting. I mean, I didn't like X. I mean, I played it. That was the first Xenoblade game I ever tried, and I was like, oh yeah, because I remember hearing like people say like, oh, it's so underrated. It's such a good like action, or like such a huge world. And I'm like, oh, it looks kind of cool. Big game on the Wii U. I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. So I bought it, and I was like, oh nope, this is no. So I took it back. I couldn't get past even like the first like after the character creation stuff. The character creation stuff was pretty cool. I'm always a sucker for that stuff. But after that, like the first 5 minutes, I was like, oh god, no, this feels wrong.
What was it about it that you experienced?
The combat. I could not gel with it. It was because like you shoot guns in the game. But you don't like aim and shoot. It's more like you hit a button and your character will like. It's kind of like Xenoblade Chronicles X, right? Or 2, sorry, where you enter a fight and your character's doing actions by you just pressing a button, and that's how you shoot guns. Your character's just like shooting as you're hitting a button, and then it'll reload, and it's just like I'm just like, this is weird. And then I'd switch, and I couldn't figure out how to switch between like. I guess like fighting. From what I remember, I don't remember. Like again, I only played like 5 minutes of it before I was like, oh no. So I don't remember everything, but I remember you could like switch between styles, like swords or guns or something. And I was like, oh god, I don't know how to do this. The game's not showing me what to do. What do I do? And I was like, nope. I tried to like jump and attack. That's one thing. I was playing it like an action RPG. And it's not an action.
No,
RPG,
it's not.
Really, so so that was my first thing. Is like because I thought it was. I thought it wasn't like an action RPG, but it's not. And I was like, oh, that's okay. This is weird. So, but I don't hate X. I got no hate for it. I just didn't like the game. So,
I mean, on the internet might as well be hate. So,
yeah, well, on Twitter
it was trash. Couldn't even last 5 minutes.
If I was on Twitter, I'd be speaking very differently. I'd be saying, wow, people like this garbage game.
Probably, yeah.
Then I'd get a lot of followers and a lot of hate. And then it'd be great.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I love Twitter. Magical place.
Well, let's move into the next section of the show, Blake. This one, doing a little rearranging. I think we do that almost every podcast, but it's fine. Mm-hmm. Blake, it's been quite a while. What have you been watching / playing?
Well, the answer is not a ton, but there are a few things I think are notable. I mostly have been playing, surprisingly, a lot of Mortal Kombat 11. I've been doing a lot of towers, just because I kind of wanted more stuff. I wanted to see what kind of crazy costumes there were. And to give brief thoughts on Mortal Kombat 11 as a whole, like I do like the combat in that game. It's a lot more, I guess, relaxed. It feels like a more relaxed fighting game, ironically, given that there's so much violence in it. But I think the progression system's just so like weird. Like I would be playing like Baraka or Shang Tsung, and then I'd be like, oh man, this costume looks cool, and then I'd go into the costumes list where you can view them all. And I'd just be like, dude, so many of these are just alternate colors of costumes that I already have. And it's like, yeah, I kind of just was like, I kind of wish you could unlock that they had a bunch of skins, and then you got all the colors for that skin once you unlock that skin. But I understand that that would take out a lot of the grind aspect, and I know that people would probably put it down and stuff like that. But towers have been fun. I've been experimenting with a lot of different characters. I've kind of found the characters that I like. The graphics are great. The music's pretty good. I'm actually surprised that the music's so good. It sticks out a little bit. It's not as good as like Street Fighter, where I'm like, oh yeah, that's Ken's theme, baby. Like it's more like, it's good. You know, I'm popping my head a little bit. So, we played a few matches, very very briefly, not a lot.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I played that back when it came out. I played quite a decent amount of it, but then just put it down once I got like. Once me and my friends stopped playing, and then once I got the costumes I wanted, I was like, cool.
Yeah, you got the Jade. I think it was Jade, right? Jade, like the white Kombat League Jade skin.
Yeah. I was like, I
remember seeing that.
It looked so cool in the story. I was like, I want that one.
Yeah, cool. You showed me that, and we were playing, and I was like, oh my god, John went into Kombat League? Like, holy crap! Yeah. But then again, I went into Kombat League for like 2 matches, got a katana skin that I like, but I don't play katana, so
I was like, I got the white like dead Jade skin, but then I also got a gray one with Jade alive with the mask. I thought, okay, cool. I have a cool live version of Jade and a cool dead version of Jade, so I'm good. And then of course I got the same for like. Well, Jade was the only one I really cared for that because she looked cool in all the white when dead. But everybody else, I just got a cool alive costume. I was like, cool. I'm good on grinding for costumes. Yeah,
I'm starting to feel that way now. All I really wonder is the little. The one thing I am kind of upset about is like how little you can actually customize aesthetically on your character. Mm-hmm. Like Raiden, you can customize his staff and like his hat, his staff, and his little amulet. And I'm just kind of thinking to myself, yo, the amulet, you're never gonna see that. The camera's like just a little too far out. You're never gonna like.
It's the same with like Jade. Also, you can customize the staff a little, like the handle and like the ends of it. But it's like, like the ends of it, kind of. But like the handle, I'm never gonna.
You're never gonna see the handle. I mean, the handles look cool. I think I used the one that's called Gift from Raiden, or something like that, and it looks cool. But it's like no one's gonna see it, so they're not even gonna care. I can barely see it. You know what I mean? Mostly there's like the thing about cosmetics in that game is like there's like one thing that like 1 or 2 things per character that people are actually going to notice. Like on Liu Kang, people are going to notice the headband and then the gauntlets. They're never going to notice what the frick you're using for nunchucks or like what design you're using for nunchucks. Same with Baraka. But Baraka's like the blades. Everyone, the blades are going to look cool. The flag, but I don't think a lot of people are going to care about the head stuff, but I mean that's kind of standoutish. But Shang Tsung, oh god, Shang Tsung. Gauntlets, this itty bitty bottle he has of souls, you get to customize that, which you can barely see in the game, and then the scroll, which you can completely ignore. The little scroll thing he has, it's like, I wish it was more like it was just better customization. Like I wish for Raiden, I wish I could customize the color of his lightning. Like. Kind of like because kind of like King of Fighters like 98 or 98 where it's like you can customize you want to customize the color of May's or Terry's power wave. You want to make it blue? You want to make it green? Sure, why not? Here you go, customize that crap. It's like I wish you could do that. I wish you could customize like the colors of their moves, like make like Liu Kang's fire like blue or pink or whatever, you know what I mean? Same with like Jade, you can make her staff a completely different color. I think it's so weird how they didn't let you do that. They let you customize like stuff that nobody's gonna really notice or care about. So, but I mean, other than that, it is a really fun game. I am enjoying it. I did not purchase Aftermath because
I haven't gotten that yet
because it's more money than I paid for the base game and Injustice 2 combined, so I'm gonna wait. I think I heard that the characters are now available separately, so I might jump in and play some RoboCop or Shiva. Maybe Fujin. But Fujin looks dope. But Yeah, mostly MK11. Sorry to rant on that for a little bit.
No, you good. No,
But MK11 is fun. It's a good game. I'm curious to see where they go after this. If they continue to... I'm sure they're going to add more characters. I've heard some rumors of DLC, and I'm just like, what? No. So, I won't say who they are, because it might be accurate, but I think that's not.
Who is it, though? Come on, man. Spill it on the podcast. Where's that exclusive?
The one that I saw that I'm like, ugh, no, please no, is Harley Quinn. And I was like,
I was like...
That's my thing, too. I was like,
never mind. I thought you were going to say some obscure, like, MK character.
No. Honestly, you can throw in any MK character. I'd be like, sure, cool, bring him back. You can throw in almost any movie character. I mean, I've still heard rumors of Ash Williams from Evil Dead, which I'd be like, cool, I never really cared, but sure.
I always find it weird when, like, because was Injustice 1 or it was 2, right, when they threw in Scorpion?
Injustice 1 had Scorpion, where he was the most broken character in frickin' fighting game history. He's so good in that frickin' game.
When they do that, or they put like Joker in MK11, like it's kind of cool, but I'm like, but I could just play Injustice, like.
See, that's
especially
my thing.
because they're the same company, like,
Yeah. So here's my thing: is like Injustice. I'm fine with Injustice having Mortal Kombat characters because they play so differently. Like, I'm fine if Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Raiden were in Injustice 1 and Injustice 2, respectively. But I think it's interesting how the Joker has been in 4 of these freaking games. He's been in MK vs. DC Universe, then he was in Injustice 1, then Injustice 2, and then in Mortal Kombat 11. It's like, I like the Joker. I think he's cool, but like, God, I'm kind of tired of the freaking character. Like, I want, like, if you're gonna throw in a DC character for the next batch, I don't want it to be Harley Quinn, because like that's the Joker's henchwoman. Like, it's like, really, come on, like, let's step out of the box a little bit. Like, let's do Darkseid or something like that. Like, even though he's in Injustice 2, like, do someone crazy, like someone that's like super bonkers or something. I don't know. I just feel like there's better options.
Because I think that's my thing with, like, like you said, like, you're finding Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Raiden are in Injustice. I'm like, we could just have maybe, at the very least, a cooler, like, more interesting MK character, or just have an interesting DC character.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Cause Sub-Zero, well, maybe I have a soft spot for Sub-Zero in Injustice 2 because he's incredibly sick. Oh, God, he's dope. Like, he's my favorite version of Sub-Zero, honestly. He's so much fun in that game. Which is crazy to say. I cannot believe I just said Sub-Zero in Injustice 2 is my favorite version of him, but he's so freaking fun in that game. It's like, the only thing with Joker is I just feel like he's so random, and I feel like they picked him because he's Warner Brothers owned, and they couldn't really figure out who else to put in there. Like, Spawn makes some sense. I still feel like Spawn would have had more justice done to him in Injustice. Because I feel like he's more... It would be cool to see Spawn fight Ninja Turtles, Hellboy, and all these other crazy characters, as opposed to the Mortal Kombat characters, but that's not really a big deal. He's still cool. But the Joker's just like... I don't know. If it wasn't for the fact that they reference MK vs. DC so much and just make fun of it, I'd probably be a little more angry, but I was just like, come on, I want somebody a little different. That's my only gripe with Joker in Mortal Kombat, is I just think it's so strange. But I kind of feel what you mean, so I don't disagree, I just, But, other than that, I've been playing mostly MK11, played some Dragon Ball Fighters. We both tested out Ultra Instinct.
Oh yeah, it's been a little while. I forgot.
It's been a little while. I liked Ultra Instinct Goku. His assist one, where he shoots the huge beam in the sky, was so much fun to play with, but I can't... I don't know. He just doesn't feel 100% me, but that might change. Because I do like him, I just don't know if I can play him. I don't know. He's like somewhere between... I don't know. He's kind of got like the complexity of like Gogeta, where Gogeta can do just bonkers stuff. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So that's kind of all I am.
Yeah, Goku is very cool.
He's very cool. He's a very cool character, especially his supers and stuff like that. They look super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what else. The only other thing is Uncharted 2. I'm going for all the treasures, so I'm going easy mode with a guide. So I just want to get all the treasures because I don't have an explorer's brain to look for them all. So I'm just like, just go grab a guide and chill out and play another great round of Uncharted 2. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for me. That's all I've been playing, watching. I mean, I could go into what I'm watching, but I don't. It's not really essential. I feel like I'd go too long.
But I want to know. Blake. This is where we go.
I don't know. I feel like I'd talk forever though, and I don't want to talk forever about what I've been watching.
Can you give us at least one where you're watching?
Well, actually, okay. I'll give you a few.
Yes.
Briefly.
Yes.
So on Disney Plus, which I just renewed for myself and you.
Thank you very much.
Well, I decided to watch some of the original series that I didn't get a chance to watch on Disney Channel. So I watched Amphibia, which is an animated series about a girl who goes to like a magical world of frogs. It looked interesting from its premise. It started off the pilot episode is the weirdest pilot episode I've ever seen in my life. And the show in itself, in terms of how it progresses its story, is very strange. But it was a pretty good show. It had some great moments. It was fun. It was funny.
Oh, so you finished it already?
I just finished season 1.
Oh, okay.
So, it was good. I liked it. I'm excited to see where they go for season 2, which is supposed to be coming out this year. They said summer of this year, but I don't know if that's changed due to the virus, due to anything like that. But we shall see. Another one I watched on Disney Plus I'm watching on Disney Plus is Big City Greens. It's another animated cartoon. It's a comedy. It's about a bunch of country hicks or farmers that move into the big city, and they're super out of place, and it's just there's hijinks ensue. It's funny. It's cute. Tilly is probably the funniest character, I think. She's just so like innocent looking, and then she's just so funny at like weird at the same time. It's a really good dynamic I like. And then the last one I watched was on Netflix, and it was called Kipo and the Wonder Beasts, or the Age of the Wonder Beasts, or whatever it's called. First season was interesting. It has a lot of style. It has a lot of good story. And I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm curious to see where this is going. Season 2 starts. Episode 1 was so like, ugh. Like, I was like, oh man, this is.
Wait, for what again?
Kipo and the Age of the Wonder
Oh, okay.
Beasts.
So I thought you had switched to another show for a second.
No.
Okay.
So I watched season 1 and I liked it, but season 2 started off doing something so like. Doing a few things that I just were like, oh god, it's gonna be one of these shows. Because I don't know if I think I explained this at one point on the podcast, but it's like there have been so many Netflix shows that have just burned me in terms of like they start off really good and then god dang it, you suck. Like that happened with The Hollow, I think it's called.
I think it has a season 2 now, right?
Yeah, it got season 2, and they did it again. They did some stupid, from what I've heard, like they did some really dumb stuff again, and I'm just like from what I've seen in like descriptions, it's just like, dude, that doesn't make any sense. How do you do that? So I'm not even gonna. I kind of want to watch it because I'm curious as to how they do it again. How they give you a season 2 after the way season 1 ended. But okay, whatever. I don't know. I mean, I just am so bizarre that they I can't believe they did that. It's so dumb. But Kipo is kind of doing the same thing where I'm all like, oh, okay, this is kind of cool. And then season 2 starts, and I'm just like, oh man, I don't feel like getting burned again. I don't feel like getting Voltroned again. Mm-hmm. I really don't, because Voltron was like the perfect analogy for I think almost every single Netflix series I've ever watched, where it's like, oh yeah, this is great. Oh, this is awesome. This is exactly what Oh no, no. Oh. Well, now my week is ruined. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll try again. I just don't like what they did in season 2. It's just like, no, don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But they did it, and it wasn't even that they did something bad. It's just that they missed a huge opportunity I thought would have added a lot of flavor to the show, but they missed it. So that's pretty much it for me. I haven't watched too many movies as of late, or at least none that I can like remember or worth mentioning. So sorry to go on for too long, but
No, you're good, man.
But hit me. What you got?
All right, so I'm starting with my shows. Starting with my shows. I watched The Boys, Amazon Prime show, which is like the dark and edgy superhero show. Like, what if superheroes weren't very nice?
They were a bunch of huge douchebags, but they're still considered superheroes and stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I liked it. It was like there's definitely those shock value moments. I was like, oh, but it was an interesting story, and I did like it. Season 2, I think it was kind of interesting what they did with like this. It's not like the most interesting, but it was more than I thought I would get with the Superman type character, and like, it's kind of like when you raise a hero to be like this, like from birth to be a certain way, and only let them be that thing, you know.
Patriot, like, I think his name is, right? I can't remember his name.
I just can't remember.
I think it's something like the Patriot.
But it was good. The ending, I was like, oh, it's gonna be interesting, like how they gotta keep it going, just like what angle they could get it from. But The Boys is really good. Then I watched Upload, which is also an Amazon Prime series. It's like 10 episodes on Amazon Prime. I didn't describe The Boys, but that's okay. I feel like most people
know what The Boys is.
Upload is the premise is that there's this. Okay, so like there's the afterlife, right? Like heaven and all that. But then people have created a digital afterlife where like if you're going to die, you pretty much upload your brain to the internet, and you can live the afterlife, live forever pretty much in the digital landscape. But there's like different, I guess, places you can upload. Like the rich people go to like super nice place, while more poor people get to go to like, kind of more crappy places. But you follow the main character who he's like trying to start this like app. He's gonna go places, and then he dies, and he gets uploaded to the afterlife, and it goes on from there. It's like maybe was his death like, you know, was it on purpose? Was it on accident? We don't know. And then it follows. It stars my boy Robbie Amell, huge Robbie Amell fan. You know, the Amell cousins are fantastic, and I decided to watch it because Robbie Amell, he's great. He's very charismatic, and yeah, he's great in this show as well. It's a good show. Similar, it's not like The Boys, but like I watched like 3 shows in a row on streaming services that had the same kind of like shock value kind of humor or kind of edgy stuff.
Really?
I was like The Boys is more so.
Well, yeah, like, I know of how.
Yeah, but like Upload has a moment in the first like 10 minutes. I was like, whoa, and then some of the comedy as well is kind of like that in a way.
Really, it looked. Maybe I don't know if it's because of Robbie Amell, but it looked like such a CW-esque show. Like it looked, or their marketing made it look like a CW-esque.
No, there's more of like the shows. I noticed the trend just like mostly because I watched 3 shows in a row that had similar-ish kind of humor. People just like the edgy kind of dark humor, and
we're not supposed to say this on TV.
Exactly. Like with. And actually, I watched like an animated show, which is kind of like Rick and Morty, which is like the edgy kind of humor and like all that. I'm like, actually, yeah. So I watched like 4 shows in a row, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, I watched that. I guess I forgot about it, but I'll mention it real quick. The Rick and Morty type show. It's I can't remember. It's on Hulu. Maybe I think it's made by Justin Roiland. It's created by.
Oh, you're talking about it's one about the aliens, right?
Yeah.
I forget. Oh shoot! No. Hold on. I know it.
Solar Opposites. Never really thought of that.
Frick! I knew it had solar in the title. I was like, what is it again?
A lot of like adult, more steer towards adult shows that are animated or having this art style now. More of them now.
Yeah.
And it's the thing we talked about where like kind of like with games too, but like when there's like a popular thing, oh, let's make everything look like that thing. And like maybe that thing was cool. If you like that thing at first, that's cool, but like when everything looks like it's like I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think the reason that they do Rick and Morty is probably the most visually, I guess, quote unquote, captivating of like the adult cartoon shows. Because like think Simpsons, think Family Guy, think Archer, F is for Family, like BoJack Horseman. All those shows are like visually like just pretty simplistic because they don't emphasize animation. They're emphasizing people. You know what I mean?
Well, like no, that's what I mean though. Like not.
Yeah.
Like, even before, like, everything was looking like Bob's Burgers. Like, you know?
Yeah.
And there's that crappy show nobody liked. Or, no, not crappy show, but the crappy art style nobody liked. It was on Netflix. It was about the teenagers and puberty. Like, Crazy Talk, maybe?
Oh, no. You're talking,
I think I made that title.
Shoot. I think it's not called Growing Pains. It's that horrible, disgusting show. I know what show you're talking about.
Yeah,
Frick.
but, like, then a few shows, not like a bunch, thank God, but like a few shows, you're like, oh, let's have a show look like this, and people are like, why do you have to make like such an ugly looking show? And that's because, you know, it's popular, and that's again like that kind of thing where let's make almost every other show look like this kind of thing. I want some diversity in my art styles.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, I agree with you.
Just because, well, like Solar Opposites, it's like Justin Roiland, so it makes sense to have it. I guess make it look like Rick and Morty. You can make that connection. But it was announced there's a more adult themed Star Trek animated show that's also gonna look similar to the Rick and Morty art style.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not. I'm not saying like I don't like things looking like the Rick and Morty art style. It's like that's just an example of a trend that's always been happening in animation.
Yeah, I mean, you're 100% right. Obviously they want to go for like the, how do I say it?
Or even like the Scooby, like I think it's What's New Scooby Doo. It was one of the more. I was like,
no. Be
so
cool, Scooby Doo.
ugly.
Be cool, Scooby Doo. Looked like freaking Family Guy, and it was. I did not gel with it.
It's like, it looks so ugly.
Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan. Where is it? God dang it! I'm trying to remember the stupid name of that show, but it seems like Netflix doesn't even want me to know what it is. God dang it! What is it called?
I don't know, man.
Oh, here we go. Hold on. No. Adult animation. Big Mouth.
There.
Big Mouth. Yes, I God, so bad.
I say Crazy Talk.
Hey, kind of close. Kind of close to this. But like, yeah, no, I mean, oh shoot, no, that's not what I wanted. No, but like, obviously they want to go for like the lowest common denominator. That's why I heard that this. I don't even know if this is still in production, but that Deadpool show that was supposed to come out.
Oh man. Yeah.
Like that's supposed to be animated by the like I heard that it was gonna be between the studio that did Archer and Titmouse.
The Titmouse one looked incredible.
That's my
so
freaking thing. Like that's my thing. Okay, here's my thing. Right? I guarantee they went for Archer because they're cheaper.
Yes.
Archer's animation is. I've watched an episode of Archer. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with the show. It's kind of boring on it. A little slow.
It's aesthetically pleasing.
It's fine. It's just like it's not. It's okay. Like you know what I mean. But like, Titmouse goes freaking hard on visuals. Like they go hard. Motor City. I think they also animated the opening of Black Dynamite, which is. I don't know if they animate the whole show. I just know they did the opening for sure. Like they go hard on animation, but I also know the animation is timely and expensive. And I imagine if you're, what is it, FX? Who's making it?
It was FX.
Like I imagine if you're FX, you're kind of sitting there like, well, shoot, we need this done in a timely manner and at low cost. But you know, because it's Deadpool, we're gonna make money. So I mean, you know, that's my thing. Is like, obviously they go for it because it's like we said, the lowest kind of. I don't want to say bare minimum because I feel like that's rude, but I think it's like it's easy. You know what I mean? Family Guy's animation. If you watch an episode of Family Guy without the sound, it's just two people talking for a couple minutes. Like, they're really not doing anything. But it has to be animated because they have those extreme moments that would be not so funny in like a regular old sitcom. So
yeah, it's like not lazy. Like, I wouldn't say that, but like it's clearly like, let's go with what works. People clearly like this thing, like this art style. Let's make everything else look like it.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was gonna say, it even kind of goes to games like a bit. Yeah, certain things, but like I know recently, like with some of the latest gameplay that came out, like as of now, because a bunch of new trailers coming out, people mention like the like colorful kind of cartoony art style that people are using, like kind of like in their battle royale games or like other kind of games.
Yeah,
people are saying, oh, this is like, this aesthetic is what the gray aesthetic was back in like 2008. Like, everybody's using it because like people like Overwatch used it, other like Fortnite, other popular games used the art style, and people liked it. I don't mind that art style. I prefer over the, again, like the gray color tone, gray and browns we got in the late or mid 2000s. Like those were a time, like your Gears games. But it's like when every game looks like that or very similar to that, I'm like, yeah, how's this art style? Like, it doesn't like make me go, oh, this looks cool. It makes you go, yeah, another one.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also interesting how similar the shows are in tone. I think adult animation is such a bizarre genre because it's so like Seth MacFarlane's stuff, right? Family Guy, American Dad, The Cleveland Show. All three of those shows have the exact identical dynamic. Right? They have different characters, sure, but they're the same dynamic, right? Yeah. Right? Like, Family Guy has what? A talking dog and a talking baby. American Dad has what? A talking alien and a talking fish. And Cleveland Show has like a talking bear character and a talking baby, I think. Right. It's just like, and I mean, I think the Cleveland Show got canceled or whatever. I don't know if that's
a talking toddler, Blake. It's very different.
Talking toddler.
It's very different.
But see, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, all these shows are the exact same goddamn thing over and over again. And it's like, it's all of them are like this, like, hey, well, The Simpsons worked, let's do another family show. And that's how sitcoms are too, right? Like, every sitcom wants to be Friends or How I Met Your Mother or Seinfeld. But none of them are. They're all about family. They're all about family. Every single one of them is about a family. And it's like, oh, are we crazy family? It's like, yeah, but I've seen this 1,000 times. I think adult animation specifically is so interesting because if you look at like normal Cartoon Network specifically, I think now is so crazy diverse in terms of styles, in terms of what they're going for. Like, Steven Universe is super different from OKKO. OKKO is super different from Teen Titans Go aesthetically, even if I don't like Teen Titans Go particularly. They're all different styles. There's a richness to it, you know what I mean? But like, you know, when I scroll through like the adult animation section on Netflix alone, like a lot of it's kind of the same sort of thing. And it's just like I've completely forgot about the show Paradise PD, which looks like it was made by freaking Family Guy. It's like so much is identical to itself, and it's so, I don't know. I completely agree with you. It's kind of sad because I want more richness in this stuff. You know what I mean? So, but it's, you're not.
Yeah, but also I think specific, like more so with adult animations, we're talking about like a lot of the writing will be similar as well. Again, like, those are all Seth MacFarlane shows, but like a bunch of other shows are like, hey, let's try to be Family Guy or American Dad, you know? And it's like, okay, and now I think a lot of shows are trying to be like, or they're in the future going to try to be like Rick and Morty. Again, like the Star Trek show, I assume it's going to be similar in like it's comedy, it's like shock value moments, but in the Star Trek universe, and it's like, all right, maybe that'll be entertaining, but...
Wait, what? Star Trek show?
Did you not
Who's
hear
making...
me when I said that on the podcast 5 minutes ago?
Wait, no, I didn't hear you mention a Star Trek show. I didn't hear Star Trek at all.
There's this Star Trek animated show that's gonna be in the art style of like Rick and Morty, like that kind of art style. That's gonna be like
what?
Again, more.
That sounds like a terrible idea. That sounds like a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Star Trek is. I don't even like Star Trek, and yet I can tell you what Star Trek is mostly supposed to be about. But oh god, that sounds terrible.
Like when I heard the idea, I thought it's gonna be like Rick and Morty. I assume, haven't seen any trailers, but it's gonna be like meta, making fun of the red shirts and all that, and like a bunch of stuff like that. I know it's gonna be like that.
The fact that you and me, who to my knowledge you're not a Trekkie, right?
No.
Yeah.
Not really.
Like, God, the fact that you and me know what they're most likely going to do just by default is like I imagine they're gonna have a captain who drinks a lot or does stupid stuff, and then there's gonna be the completely logical, like it's gonna be, oh god, now I'm mad, or now I'm frustrated.
No, you're right. I didn't think of that through. But yeah, it's gonna be like a shitty captain, and
it's why
it's gonna lead everyone to these dangerous adventures.
Yeah, and I mean I think it's weird, like I was saying earlier, like when you go down to like the kids animation. And you have creators like Craig McCracken, who made Powerpuff Girls, also made Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, which are completely different in every single capacity. Like, they have different styles of comedy, they have different styles of animation, they have different styles of art direction, and then he also made Wander Over Yonder, which is also super different. Like, 3 shows made by the same, or created by the same person with similar teams, I imagine, has completely different styles all around. I think it's interesting how you don't get that anymore. Like you get kind of the, I don't know, man. You just like you get like this weird just I don't know. I'm trying to say like a mush of the same thing. Mm-hmm. And I think that's I don't know why we talked about this for so long, but yeah, I mean.
Don't worry, this will be a clip in the podcast, or a clip later.
This will be a whole separate video. But I mean, god dang, dude, like why not? Is my thing. Like, I think that's why TV has kind of turned to streaming mostly, is because streaming is like trying to do stuff unique, you know. Like when stuff sticks out, like Game of Thrones did before season 8. Like people latched on to Game of Thrones like it was the greatest show ever made, because I think it was so different. It was trying to do stuff that was so different. But I mean, you know, same with like The Sopranos or Dexter or stuff like that, or Breaking Bad. You know, those shows stuck out because they actually had some. You know, we're trying to do cool stuff here. You know, so I mean, I don't know, but I think adult animation just doesn't care enough to. That's why The Simpsons is still running. Is just because like we can't let it go because there's too much money to be made and people are still watching it. So, But wow, I cannot believe they're doing a Star Trek in the vein of Mick and Morty. That sounds like the silliest idea I've ever heard. That's like them trying to do a Back to the Future movie. It's like Rick and Morty already is Back to the Future. Like that's the joke.
Yeah, it is.
It's like, oh god.
But to keep going on this train, or steer off into a different lane, you know. Yeah. Talking about a unique show that has a awesome art style. I finally watched and finished Tron Uprising on Disney Plus.
Oh yes, god dang it, dude! You've been talking about this on. Before you get to this, can I talk about this for a second?
Yeah, go.
You've been talking about it, man. Every time you mention it, I was like, man, Tron Uprising. Why does that feel so nostalgic? And every time you brought it up when we were on our chat, I was just thinking like, god dang, dude. I remember summers in like 2000 whatever, coming home from football practice super early in the morning, and then like getting breakfast and sitting on the couch and watching recorded episodes. I was like, oh man, dude, that was so nostalgic for me. So like, you brought back some super fond memories for me. So,
well,
anyways, what you think?
I'm glad. It was good. Yeah, it was good. I liked the characters in the world. I did want more in terms of the world building, because I think the world of Tron is so cool. Mm-hmm. And we get some in Tron Legacy and Tron Uprising, but I always want more because that world is so cool. But clearly, I know they with like the plot, the characters, and the world building. And I know they probably would have done way more if there's a season 2, because clearly like a season 1, it's a solid season 1, but once you see like the ending, I'm like, oh, I'm excited for season 2. Like, oh wait, there isn't. But yeah, the art style is really cool. I remember when I first watched it back in the day, I only saw a few episodes because it was hard to keep track of on TV, but just because like the blend of 2D and 3D kind of threw me off with the characters specifically, just like the way they move and look, I guess. I was like, that's not bad, but just different.
Mm-hmm.
But I really appreciate it more so now. Again, it's super unique. I haven't seen another show like it, like from when I first saw it in like high school to now. We just talked about how a bunch of shows look the same. Tron Uprising is super unique, and I hadn't picked it up before, but like clearly the designs are an homage to like the first Tron, but also the Tron Legacy designs, with like the more muted colors in the faces and everything. I was like, oh, that's super cool. I hadn't put 2 and 2 together on that before, but the show is so good looking. It looks so great. That's probably just because the Tron world itself is so cool. But like, I remember in watching the like, so like Gravity Falls, they have the documentaries for like every single episode, and there would be so many times when they said, like, TV, you don't get a lot of with TV animation, you don't get a lot of opportunities to do like super cool shots, but there Alex Hirsch a few times would say like this shot in particular, like this one, thankfully, like because either like the great storyboarding or just we had the time to do it, thankfully we had these awesome shots that looked like they would be in a movie, and that's like so many shots in Tron Uprising. I'm just like, that looks super incredible, especially for a TV show. Just it's so good. It looks so great. I love it. And yeah, I love Tron, so that plays into it, obviously, but Tron Uprising is great.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a really long time since I watched it. And I want to go back, but I kind of want to watch. I kind of want to do like a Tron-a-thon. I kind of want to watch the first Tron, then go to Uprising, then go to Legacy. Because I think Uprising takes place before Tron Legacy.
It takes place. Yeah, so that's what I did. I didn't watch the first Tron because I remember watching it a few years ago back, like rewatching it, and I was like, all right, I appreciate it for everything it did, but it's a very boring movie.
Yeah, from what I hear, it's old, but I'm interested because I like old movies. I don't mind movies that are slower paced, but I'm curious about it because I heard it was a cult, kind of a sci-fi cult classic, if anything. I'm
impressed by like the world and everything, like what they did back then, but like the writing and just it feels very dull. It's like all right, but yeah, I watched Tron Uprising, then I watched Legacy right after, and yeah, love Tron Legacy. Just but let's talk about Uprising before I.
Yeah, no, Uprising is. I don't remember all of it. I don't remember quite a bit, but god dang, I do remember like some aesthetics just being so freaking just sick. Like I remember fight scenes being really well done. Like I remember fight scenes being like, wow, I'm actually really impressed at the way they animated those. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's so many times I thought this must have been super expensive to make.
Yeah.
Not just the blend of 2D and 3D, which that on its own, but like again, so many shots, I was like, this looks incredible.
Which might have been a precursor to its cancellation, obviously.
Yeah.
It was just too expensive, and then they obviously acquired other properties that are more profitable. They didn't own Marvel at the time, did they?
No.
Marvel came...
Tron Legacy came out like 2011, and I think the deal where they bought that stuff was 2013. No, I'm wrong, actually. No, that's Star Wars.
No, it was after Avengers.
It
was after Avengers, because after Avengers...
Avengers is 2012, right?
Avengers is 2012, and then Iron Man 3 still has Paramount's logo, so it was around 2013, 2014. Yeah, so they didn't own it yet.
Yeah.
So...
But Uprising was around like would have been like 2012 around.
Yeah. The time when Uprising was around, though, Disney XD had some...
They were really doing some cool stuff.
Yes, they had Motor City. They had Tron Uprising. They had... Well, what was that other show that... Oh, God, I'm trying to remember. Hold on, I have to look it up now.
All
They had some live action stuff too, which was stupid. They had stuff that they didn't want to put on Disney Channel, but they... Hold on. Excuse me as I type. I don't mean to clickety clack in the. Okay, hold on. Okay. They had, so they used to show Spectacular Spider-Man #1, which is obviously the greatest video show. Yeah, Disney XD used to show it. Yes.
Huh.
They didn't show it for like super long, but they showed it. They had it. And then they had Ultimate Spider-Man, Gravity Falls. They had Gravity Falls for a little bit. Come on, what is that show though?
Was it Star?
No, Star started on Disney Channel, like Gravity Falls did. It started on Disney Channel.
Okay, then it got moved.
Yeah, and then it got moved. It used to have Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which is also an incredible show. It used to have the greatest show ever made, Max Steel. That's a joke. That show sucks. Tron Uprising. Oh God, what was it called? It was like, maybe I'm crazy. I might be crazy.
Maybe the show wasn't even that good. Like, can't remember.
It might not have been that good. I honestly am trying to remember.
I just remember they threw like, oh, we got Naruto Shippuden. We're throwing it out on Disney XD.
Yeah.
And I remember like I was watching like on Crunchyroll, so I didn't really care. But I remember they like. Well, obviously they did not show the uncut stuff because that is like some blood. Not like Naruto never gets super crazy, but like they would not show any of that. I just remember watching one of their filler, like a Naruto filler arc, and I thought it was like pretty soon after they put on Naruto. I thought, are they putting in the filler because that like they don't have to show? I assume the filler has less of the not gory, but you know the crazy stuff. Yeah. So I assume they're putting in this filler because it's the safer stuff to put in Naruto. Okay, that's weird.
Do you remember when anime had a weird resurgence on Nickelodeon and Disney? Because Disney had Naruto, right? Or Shippuden, specifically. Nickelodeon had Dragon Ball Z Kai.
You're right, yeah. And yeah, actually, then...
That's how I first experienced
They had another show or two that were like either anime or anime-esque, I think.
Dragon Ball had... Oh, no, sorry. Nickelodeon had Dragon Ball for a really long time. God, I will never forget those days because Dragon Ball was blowing the frick back up.
Mm-hmm. That was on like Nicktoons, right?
Yeah, it was on Nicktoons. And it got popular there. I remember. I'll never forget. They had. I
think there were shows that were like had an anime like aesthetic or like similar-ish to it.
Yes.
That they would also show on Nicktoons.
Oh, I want to say it was like Digimon or something, but I don't remember. I know there was another anime.
I just saw on Jetix, which was Disney on.
Jetix was Digimon.
A bunch like Power Rangers, Digimon. There was a racing
Super
show.
Hyper Monkey Force, whatever.
Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go.
Yes, that's the one. Shaolin Showdown. I believe that was also on Jetix, right?
I think that was on WB.
Or was that WB?
That was WB.
Okay.
But they had like a racing show that I think was straight up an anime that they just like put on Jetix. I think that's I remember finding out years later. But there was like another show, Get Ed, which is another 3D show.
I do remember that. Okay, Get Ed. I know that name.
And then there was another show or two that I just couldn't remember. But Jetix was my jam because they would show freaking Power Rangers. Then they would show Digimon, and I could only ever watch like the first 3 episodes of Digimon on VHS because that's all I would rent. That's all the video store had, so I could watch actual Digimon on TV. It was amazing, and then they shut it down. I was like, damn it!
Yo, Jetix. Wow, Jetix. So Jetix was owned by Disney, correct? You said. Yeah. Okay. Yin Yang Yo. I remember that cartoon.
Yin Yang Yo. Yes, that was a good one.
I remember Puka.
Oh, I was about to say Puka because
that was the freaking weirdest show. Was so weird.
It was.
My god,
Jetix lineup was awesome.
Yeah, they had some pretty crazy stuff. They had Chaotix. Remember that Pokemon knockoff that they wanted to have, where it was like rolled down.
Also good show.
Was it? I never watched it. I only watched like the first part of an episode. I still remember.
Yeah, it started. You like kind of like a fighting game. You pick your avatar, your character, and you fight. But then they open up the world because the characters they fight with are actual characters in that world. So it was cool. It was cool.
Sounds pretty dope, actually.
Jetix was a great time, man.
Let's see. They had... They had Sonic X. That's something.
Yeah, the Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go, baby. That was amazing. I thought it was. I never talked to you about it. I thought it was way longer than it was. I think it was only like 2 seasons, maybe
Super
one.
Monkey.
I think it was 2 seasons.
Hyperforce Go.
Yeah. Is it 2 seasons?
Is it on? It is on. It's 4 seasons actually.
4? What?
Yeah, it says it's 4 seasons. It started in September 18, 2004, and finished airing on December 16, 2006.
When did it start?
2004. September 18th, and then ended in 2006.
I think it might have just been split up into smaller seasons then.
It could have been. It might be that the seasons were just really, really small.
Yeah, I think
happens,
so.
Yeah.
But the Skeleton King was dope, and also I rewatched like a clip or 2 from Motor City because I was trying to find it online and it's nowhere to be found. Mm. But Kane voices the Skeleton King. I watched all of season 1 of Motor City. I had never made that connection, but just hearing it, I was like, wait, that's the Skeleton King. Oh my god. It's awesome.
Wow.
His voice is
That's
great.
That's pretty great. Yeah. Is it weird that we're talking about this in light of Tron Uprising? Because I feel like that show... I hate to say this, but I feel like the shows afterwards that we have now are like... They're good, but they're not those. Like, they're just...
I was about to say it's because, like, mentioning a lot of those shows, like, those were awesome. Like, and they were, like, unique. And, yeah.
I mean, we got some fantastic shows. I mean, you know my love for Over the Garden Wall, but that's a mini-series, and that's such a rare thing. Like, that'll never happen again, I think.
Yeah, we got Gravity Falls.
I was just about to say Gravity, which I did, actually, I forgot to mention this when we were talking. I rewatched it. It's absolutely fantastic. That's really all I have to say. Yeah, I watched all of it.
Nice.
I couldn't stop. It was like Uncharted 2, where
great.
I was like, is this show good? And I watched the first episode. I was like,
yeah,
it's still really good. I'll watch it all. So I watched it all again. It was good. But, like, we got some great stuff. But, like, I know that there's, like...
People say half of Star in the first Force of Evil.
Yes, from what I hear, Star vs. the Force of Evil starts off really good and then gets... Like, Colton talked to me about that. He's like, yeah, it's pretty good. I remember watching it, season 1, and I liked it, but I thought it was, like... It was just so weird. Like, it was like, what the heck? Who came up with that?
Recently, I watched, like, a 2-hour video just because I was interested. Someone talking about their thoughts on the whole show. Video was alright, but it was very clear to me what the problem was because they mentioned like the first season has like the plot episodes and the slice of life. Season 2, kind of like Gravity Falls, focuses more on the plot while still having the slice of life. But then he said it was like a TV movie, but I think they took like the first like 5 or 6 episodes of the beginning of season 3. Those are like finishing off the plot of seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But in 3 and 4 it kept going. So I think they wanted to make it like Gravity Falls, where it's like a 1 and 2 season done thing, and maybe Disney wants to keep going, or the creators just thought they could keep going.
Yeah.
But I hear after 3 and 4 are more. Season 3 and 4 are very disconnected, and they don't do a long plot.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't remember. I just know, like, I know the chain of events in some particular fashion, or at least I know, like, what happens and kind of thing. I want to watch it, because, like I said, I was enjoying it. I thought it was interesting.
I want to watch it, too.
Yeah, I mean, it's on Disney Plus, thank God. But Wander Over Yonder is still not, which pisses me off, because I actually want to watch that show. I hear it's good. I hear that show got dealt a dirty hand, where it was, like, it was actually doing pretty well, and then they were like, nope, get out of here. But, yeah, I've heard problems about Star. But, like, that's what I mean. It's like, man, I miss those days. I just miss, like, the... Because now, like, honest to God, I can't think of Cartoon Network shows that I'm like, yo, you gotta watch this. Like...
Yeah, Zach. I think
only one...
No, go on. Sorry, no.
Oh, no, sorry. You go ahead. Go
no,
ahead.
Go.
Well, I was just gonna say the only Cartoon Network show that I'm like genuinely interested in that I genuinely want to see is season 2 of Infinity Train, because I liked season 1. I thought it was okay. It was definitely not Over the Garden Wall, which some people were hyping it up. It's like, oh, it's gonna be the next Over the Garden Wall, and I was like, it is absolutely not the next Over the Garden Wall. It is good. Infinity Train, yes. It's like it started off as a miniseries, but then they had like a part 2.
Okay.
But I liked it, and it was cool, and I definitely watch it again. I definitely want to watch the next season. But like, OKKO is done. Steven Universe, I think, is done. But I mean, I didn't really care for Steven Universe that much. I liked it,
From
But I hated
from
Steven,
what I've seen and the problems I've heard of him, like yeah.
Steven Universe was the show that actively wanted to tell you a story by not telling you a story.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Like there's some cool lore and stuff going on, but then most of the season will just be
Steven goes to pizza
stuff.
place and he doesn't like pizza. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah,
and I hated that. I hate that about TV where it's like, dude, stop dangling the carrot in front of my face. Just tell me the goddamn story. That's why I appreciate Gravity Falls, where it feels like the mystery is constantly getting addressed throughout the entire story. Same with like Over the Garden Wall. Same with Tron Uprising. Right? There's a sense. Avatar: Last Airbender is probably the best in terms of that because the whole show has to lead up to this one event. You know what I mean? It has to. It has to lead up to Aang fighting the Fire Lord. Has to.
Also, side note, Avatar, as this recording, Avatar: Last Airbender is, I know it's on Netflix, but they now have the HD version of it. Because before they only had they put on the DVD copies of it on Netflix, and that was it. And I was like, I want to watch Last Airbender, I want to rewatch it, but I was like, maybe I'll just buy the Blu-rays, because I haven't done that yet. Maybe I'll just buy the Blu-rays. Yeah. But now they put on the HD version, finally.
Oh, nice.
So now I can watch it.
Yeah, that's another revisit I have to go through, because I remember when I was young, I'd be like, I didn't like it. I don't like this show. And then I watch it again, I'm like, this show's dope.
So good.
Super good. Did you hear, side note, did you hear that the characters got announced for Smite?
Yes, my friend Kyle sent me that. Yeah.
I was like,
interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
You got Aang. You got.
I guess I'm playing Smite now.
Korra. You got Aang, Korra, and Zuko.
Yeah. I was like, okay. Weird, but all right. Like, but anyways, no, but see, like, I feel like Steven,
real quick, side note. Go ahead. It was I don't know what it was on, but there's a popularity poll for like most popular character, and I guess Azula was number one. And yeah. I think it was the voice actress on Twitter. She did a tweet that goes, "Sorry, at Dante Pasco, you weren't even a player in the game." Just like she says to Zuko on the show.
Just like she says to the one guy, "Don't flatter yourself. You weren't even a player." Yeah, that because Azula is the best character in that show. I love Azula. She's great. She's probably one of the best villains.
Zuko's best character, sir. How dare you?
Well, okay, sorry, best villain. I feel like she's the best villain of the entire series. Even Ozai, because Ozai is just kind of. Oh, Mark Hamill does a fantastic job. Yeah. You will never get. God, isn't it sad that you'll never get another show like that? Even the sequel didn't give us another show like that. Korra.
What could have been?
Yeah, it could have been. I mean, you like Korra more than I do, though, I think. I like season 1 of Korra, and then I started watching more, and I'm like...
I might like it less than you do, maybe.
Oh, do you? Okay, I don't know. Last time we talked, I think you liked it.
Season 1, I was like, it was okay, but there's a lot of trash in it. Like,
season
just
1?
the relationship stuff was, like, so strong and so annoying.
Yeah, the stuff between...
Amon is cool, but I think the show, like, oh, who is Amon? Who is it? And it's like... Oh, it's the brother of this character who we didn't know existed?
Yeah.
First off, we didn't know their backstory until, like, they did a whole episode on it. But we didn't even know they existed, so, like, okay.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
I still can't believe they got away with a murder-suicide on TV.
Yeah, that was...
I remember being like...
That was cool.
Oh, it was dark, but yeah.
There's a lot of weaknesses in that.
Oh, yeah.
Season 2... I like the Han stuff, the first Avatar.
Yeah.
That's the 2-parter of that. The rest of it, total trash. I think it's just They made Korra worse. They put back the relationship stuff, but did it even worse.
Yeah.
I liked what they were trying to do with the plot, with Rava, I think. But like, there's like this thing in the Avatar that makes that happen. That was interesting, but then they just kind of like not throw it away, but the things they do with it is really stupid.
Yeah. Season
3 was solid, I guess.
Season 3 had the crazy benders that got their powers, right?
Yeah.
And they're kind of crazy, and they're like a crazy cult or something like that, right?
Yeah, like 3 and I didn't ever finish 4, not because I didn't care, but just because I just forgot to. So 3 and 4 were solid, but like it doesn't reach seasons 2 and 3 of Avatar.
I was gonna say season 4. The reason you probably didn't see it is because Nickelodeon didn't care anymore. Like they stopped. They like I think the last 2. I don't know if this is true. The last 2 episodes only aired online, which I don't know why they did that. But I think that's just for like.
From what I remember, season 1 of the original Avatar was just okay, except for like the last few episodes, because it was more like slice of life stuff. Like let's get to this thing. Let's take a while. But
we gotta show you who the characters are.
Yeah, but season 2 and 3 is when more of the plot was going in.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not fair, but comparing seasons 2 and 3 of Avatar to seasons 3 and 4 of Korra, it's not a competition.
I feel like it is fair to compare them because it's supposed to be the follow up, right?
You know what? Then that's fair. Sure.
Because like I mean, it's supposed to be the sequel, and I feel like you could have like there's a lot you could have done.
I just think
for the next.
Yeah, like if I was just going 3 and 4, like Korra's fine, but you got the first 2 seasons that don't like really.
Yeah. Me and Colton were talking one time, and this is one of the reasons we became friends. Is we were at the mall one time down the street from our school because we were getting some lunch, and we were talking about what we're talking about now. Like Avatar is great, and Korra's like and we were like, if they ever make a season 3, it'd be cool. And at the same time, we're both like evil Avatar. We're like, oh my god, like we would like so. I don't know if they ever do season 3.
They kind of did that season 2.
They did, but I mean, like I kind of want them to like go hard on it, and obviously it takes place further in like the future. So it'd be like a more contemporary world?
Yeah.
What if you had a reverse thing?
I don't know. I think it'd be too anime. That's too, like...
Anime?
Yeah.
Just like, who cares? It's already unapologetically anime.
It is, and I like anime, but, like, and then, like, season 2 tried to do it.
Yeah. But season 2 did it more on a spiritual level. I'm talking more, like, on a literal level. Where, like, the Avatar is just, like, a douchebag. Like, he's, like, trying to take over the world. And then you have a firebender. And then you have the reverse story of the first one.
Oh, okay. So that's more. Yeah. You just mean. Oh, okay.
Yeah, just on a more general level. Not like there's 2 avatars. One's good.
I thought that's what
you
meant.
No.
I thought you meant there's a good one and an evil one.
No. I want like an actual like one avatar ends up being a douchebag.
Okay, never mind. That sounds really cool.
Yeah. So hey, I'd be down for that. I don't think they will.
I take it back, Blake. I misunderstood. I want that story. Yeah. And I'm like, headcanon, because I don't know if season 4 fixed it. But, the Avatar line got
erased.
They got destroyed, so you can't talk to the other avatars.
Yeah.
All they got is Korra, and Korra kind of sucks as a character, personally, I think. So if all they got if all they have for guidance is Korra, hey, that makes sense to me.
Yeah. I'd be down. I'd be super down. But I don't think they're going to do it because they're too busy working on this live action.
They were working on Dragon Prince, haven't finished the last season.
That's by one of the guys though. It's not by both of them, is it?
You're right. It is. I think it's just by one of the guys. Yeah,
Which
watch Dragon Prince.
I do. That's in the next show I'm going to move on to because I'm jumping off the Kipo boat. I'm going to jump onto Dragon Prince. Dragon Prince or Scissor 7. I'm not sure which one yet.
The what?
Scissor 7. It's like an anime. I think it's an anime. Like an anime inspired fusion.
The thing you said before.
Kipo.
Kipo?
Yeah.
I don't know what these shows are, man.
Kipo and the Age of the Wonder Beasts or whatever it's called. That's what I was talking about earlier.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, no,
I didn't know you.
It's fine. I know you don't.
I'm interested in these shows you talk about, but I've just never heard of them until you mentioned
I don't blame you. Nobody really. That's kind of why they fail a little bit.
Sorry.
Ish. No. Don't apologize to me.
So what were we talking about? Tron Uprising.
You were talking about Tron. Well, we were before we talk about the Avatar rant. I wanted to talk. I wanted to bring up that like the fact that like those shows hold not just nostalgia for us, but like they had an air of like, sure, why not? Why not a show about a bunch of imaginary friends in a foster home? Like, why not a bunch of shows? Like, why not this epic trilogy about a kid trying to beat a dictator across the country? Like there's a level of like creativity that I think exists, but I don't think it sells anymore. Like, now you get the weirdest stuff ever. And I don't know if it's like because it's so creative or because it's just so like I don't know, man. I look at the cartoons on like Cartoon Network right now. And like
I saw one episode of that bear show. Pretty funny.
We Bare Bears? Yeah, it wasn't bad, right? But it's kind of dry. In my opinion. Like the one episode I watched, it was funny. But it was like nothing. It's literally just like 3 bears just kind of doing their stuff, and I'm trying to see what's on now for... Like, what... I honestly don't even know what's on Cartoon Network now.
Have you seen the trailers for... I forget what it's called, but the creator of a regular show. He's doing a show on HBO Max.
Yes. Well, that show was gonna be... it was gonna be, like, on TBS, and it disappeared for a really... Because it got announced, like, back in frickin'... I don't know, man. Like, it got announced back in, like, 2016. Like, it got announced a while
But, like, I saw the trailer, I think, like, yesterday, and I was like, I'm down. This looks...
Yeah, it looks great.
This is fun.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious, because, like, the streaming services are obviously making a big punch, right? HBO Max just came out, and it's, like, collecting a lot of the Cartoon Network stuff. So I'm curious as if we're going to get those. Like, Netflix has a lot of stuff that I haven't yet watched, but I also know that Netflix... Like, I haven't watched all of Wakfu.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
But see, that's the thing, right? Like, there's so much stuff on Netflix that you don't know about.
See, you just said that... You just said a title of a show. I'm like, that sounds like a cool title of a show. Never heard of it.
But that's what I'm saying, though, yo. Like, that's what I mean. Is, like, Netflix has so much stuff. In terms of original animated series. And at the same time, it's so bizarre that they don't really tell people about this stuff. Like, I think it's interesting. Like, I'm looking at Netflix now, and, like, there's, like, I've never heard of Cupcake and Dino. What the heck is Cupcake and Dino? I don't know what it is either. Like, I literally don't know what it is.
If Blake doesn't know what your show is, you messed up.
It doesn't exist. It's not real. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just like they have so much stuff. Like, you don't know about Kipo, right?
No.
But that's because they don't really talk about Kipo. I've heard of some of these adult animated shows to some degree. Like, I've heard of The Midnight Gospel. Have you heard about it?
Nope. Don't
That's
know
what I'm
that is.
saying. Like, it's just like...
I don't know what this is.
That's what I'm saying, though, is like, I don't know if it's Netflix's fault or the fact that they just don't really push this stuff. Like, I just don't know. Like, because, like, I'm watching, like, I'll watch a animated series on Netflix, and it'll start off really good, and then it'll get really bad. Like Voltron, right?
Yeah, you got burned.
And I get burned, and I get pissed. The only one who has yet to burn me with a season 2, because it's not out yet, is Hilda. Which you don't know about either, right?
Nope. Never heard of it.
That's what I mean, man. It's just like, I think it's so interesting how it's like, animation exists in a bubble. Completely.
Yeah.
And...
Like,
it
all
didn't
this
used to.
All this stuff we've been talking about, and I've mentioned it maybe on the podcast like years ago, but that's why I went to anime, you know, because
Yeah.
I think I told you, like, because you said something where I was going to interject. You said, like, it's hard to find that show where you go, I need to watch that, you know, for animation. And that was my thing, like, you got Gravity Falls, Motor City, Star, that's spanned, like, 2-3 years, right? Like a few years. I have less than a handful of shows. Anime would be, like, every year, just, like, at least one show where I'm like, that's a new favorite, you know? Or it'd be, like, I would always make the top 10 list. And even if, like, 1 or 2 of them, I was like, I'm putting it here just because, like, I need to make the top 10. Most of that list, I was like, these are really great shows that I really enjoyed, that were quality.
Yeah, and we talked about that, I think, at one point a long time ago, where I said something like we were talking about, I don't know if we recorded this, but I remember we were talking about Demon Slayer? Demon Killer? Demon Slayer?
Demon Slayer, yeah.
Okay, I always want to say Killer. Because I'm thinking of Goblin Killer or Goblin Slayer or whatever. Demon Slayer.
Different show.
Oh, I know it's a different show. That's why I get mixed up as, like, I'm not sure. Is it Killer? Demon Slayer?
From what I've heard, varying levels of quality.
Yeah.
Don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it either. Because I know what happens in the first episode.
But go on.
I was saying, no, because, like, we were talking and, like, people were like, you remember there was, like, some sort of poll on Twitter, I think it was, that were, like, people voted for the anime of the year, and people put Demon Slayer up, even though it was, like, the newest thing. Right?
It was anime of the decade.
Yeah, anime of the decade, even. And, like, I think that's so interesting, where it's, like, because My Hero Academia is dope. Like, that show's great.
It's dope.
You have so many good stuff, or so much good stuff, and so much so that it's competing. Like, it's hard to make like which one's the best of the decade, right? But on like, I feel like with Cartoon Network or Disney or Nickelodeon or like the big, I feel like it's pretty easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, which one's the best of the decade?
Yeah.
It's probably Gravity
Yeah,
Falls or
because
something
there's
around there.
people talking about like, oh, yo, My Hero's the best, and Demon Slayer or Attack on Titan, and you know, people have their opinions on the show, but like, there's still that debate. Like, yo, like, there's these banger shows that have broken through to mainstream audiences, like more mainstream audiences.
Yeah.
Or like you said, Cartoon Network. It's like, okay, so what do you got?
Yeah, and I mean, I think it think about the fact that like the best one probably isn't even the most popular, because the most popular is Teen Titans Go, and I guarantee that's not somebody's favorite animated show of the decade.
I mean, hey, you don't know.
I mean, I don't know, right?
Go, that 2 of the movies, buddy.
I mean, I heard the movie's funny, but I feel like the movie's only funny because it makes fun of like the fact that it's a superhero movie making fun of superhero movies, which, you know, Deadpool did.
They ran over, from what I remember, is it a panda or a polar bear? And it was, it happened out of nowhere, and it was hilarious.
I have to watch that movie. I'm sure it's on.
It was just a musical
HBO.
number, and it's like, yeah, and then, oh shit, we hit the panda or polar bear that was singing with us, and it's a hit and run.
It actually sounds pretty funny.
And now it's a hit and run. That was the best joke in the movie.
I feel like it's probably a funny movie if it's because like, here's the thing about Teen Titans Go. Like, I've mentioned this how many times, I don't know how many times, but like, I can't watch more than like 2 episodes of it before I start feeling like I'm actually losing brain cells. Because like, that's the thing. It's like, if I feel stupid after watching your cartoon, it's not a good cartoon. Because because like Teen Titans Go is just, it's so absurdly stupid. Like, there's just so like every character, like every single character's an idiot.
Characters in the movie.
And that's what I mean. It's just like
Slade's like, oh, you could throw waffles at me. It's like, no.
And then they did the Teen Titans crossover, like the Teen Titans versus Teen Titans guys. Ah, man, I
haven't seen it, but I saw enough for main Teen Titans Robin hates Teen Titans Go Robin, and that was hilarious to me.
I mean, he obviously would. I mean,
it's like they're leaving, and he's like, at first, I thought you were annoying.
And they stop, yeah.
And then he stops. So I was like, that's amazing. That's great.
But I mean, I think it's, I don't know. I see so much like ambition from creators to bring their old properties back into like a new light. Like, have you heard about KND Future or KND? I think it's called KND Future. I forget what it's called, or Space Force or something like that.
Like, what about it?
Oh, Space Kids. Well, he's still pushing for it. Like, he wants that.
Okay,
thing back.
I've heard that, you know, he's been pushing for a while. I was like, is there new news about it?
No, I don't think there's anything new. I haven't kept up with it like on a supreme level, but like, I think that idea would be really cool. You know, bring it back. You know, see what we can do with it. Like, there's some stuff that I think you could do that would be really, really cool, and it's just like, or at the very least, make something like super duper engaging. But I think it's interesting how every single, like, Disney Channel doesn't care about animation a lot. They mostly want to do live action stuff, live action movies and live action shows, which, I mean, whatever. It's not really my thing, but okay. Cartoon Network has found its footing with Teen Titans Go. And I think they're just going to keep it with Teen Titans Go because it's not really doing them any harm. And then Nickelodeon, well, we got SpongeBob.
Got SpongeBob.
So,
got our SpongeBob spin-offs that are going to be happening.
I never thought I'd see the day. I really didn't. Where I was like... Well, because, I mean, I grew up with SpongeBob. SpongeBob is probably, like, one of the most nostalgic shows for me. And, like, I remember after the movie being like, this isn't as fun anymore. Like, I was a kid too. Like, I was really young when that movie came out, but I remember watching the first episode that came out after the movie of, like, I think it's season 4.
You did mention that after that.
Yeah, it's called All That Glitters Is Not Gold or something like that. I think it's just called All That Glitters.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's about him like breaking his
that's a weird
spatula,
episode.
and I'm like,
It's a weird episode.
it lost its footing. Like they turned SpongeBob from kind of a happy-go-lucky, hyperactive, a little bit naive kid into just the absolute most annoying moron.
I can't wait for the rehydrated or games to go on sale.
Yeah, that looks dope. I actually think it's gonna be great. But
did you play the original? Side note?
I did. I owned it on the PlayStation 2. I never beat it.
Yes,
but I did like.
I never beat it either because I didn't. As that's a certain point where I just got stuck. I couldn't find any more specialists.
Kelp
I didn't know
Forest.
how to get them. But
the area is so dark.
I can't wait for the to go on sale at some point.
Yeah, it should be very good.
Yeah.
I can't believe that happened. Like, I cannot believe
the
most obscure game.
A lot of people are complaining that it hasn't like updated enough. I guess, like in terms of like the platforming and just the design of it. Some people are saying it feels like an older game. But I'm like, I mean, that's fine.
Well, so does Crash Bandicoot Trilogy. Crash Bandicoot Trilogy is an older game. People complain about that, so you can make the same. I don't know. Like, that's the thing is like, do you want a sequel or do you want the old thing back? It's like, preferably maybe you'd want the sequel because like they can do new things, but at the same time, it's like, would people buy a sequel to a game that they played maybe 15 years ago or something like that, or a spiritual successor or something like that? I don't know. You know.
But go on. Sorry to distract you.
No. I think it's just weird how like certain shows, especially on Nickelodeon, where it's like if you're not SpongeBob, you're dead. But then Nickelodeon throws out the weirdest stuff anyway. So I mean, like I remember, you know, the Invader Zim movie was really good.
Oh, that's so good.
I liked it a lot.
So good.
But I mean, does that mean that, you know, the Wild Thornberry should come back? Probably not.
Nope.
You know.
That can stay where it is.
Well, they brought back Hey Arnold too, and I mean,
that was disappointing.
I know I liked Hey Arnold.
I loved Hey Arnold.
Yeah.
The movie.
The movie or the Jungle movie?
The movie was cool.
Yeah.
The Jungle movie.
The Jungle movie's disappointing.
You watched it?
I haven't seen it yet. I don't really. I mean,
It felt. Maybe it's just because it had been a while since I saw Hey Arnold, but I felt like Arnold as a character was less like smart, I guess. Like the drama that happens in Hey Arnold and like some of the choices, I'm like Arnold had a pretty cool head on his shoulders, and that's what made him a cool character. Here he feels like a kind of younger in terms of like his character, you know.
Yeah, that might just have to do with age. That it's just been too long since the characters. No, not with you. I'm talking like with the creators. Like, it might have been just so long since they've written the character that they kind of forgot. Yeah.
Because I was like, because they showed like moments, like they do like clips of like some of the best moments of Hey Arnold, I guess. Like Arnold did this thing and did this thing, like so clearly, like you show why the character's cool.
Yeah.
But then some of the choices are like, Arnold, what are you doing? You're a smarter kid than this.
Mm-hmm.
It did hit me like the last like shot of the movie. It did hit me. I was like, okay, maybe it wasn't really worth it for that, but it was cool.
Yeah.
That last shot was nice.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to get some wrap-ups to some popular shows, I guess. But I think it's nice when you can end something well, but I feel like it's rare that happens. So I mean, I don't know. The future of cartoons honestly is looking like it has potential. Like it could be super cool, but I also feel like I don't know. Like streaming platforms, there's so many, but you know, we talked about, I don't know if we talked about this yesterday or just off the podcast, but to go back to Tron Uprising, where this all started.
It did. You got somewhere.
Yeah. But like to go back to Tron Uprising, it's kind of sad that it's stuck there. Like it's stuck in the Disney vault. It's just, you can watch it. You can rewatch the old show. You can watch Legacy and the old movie, but like you'll never get another Tron thing unless there's demand for it. Even on Disney Plus, which Disney Plus is mostly just going to be like a ton of Marvel movies, or Marvel shows. Marvel movies and shows, a ton of Star Wars movies and shows, and nothing really else. Like I can't even think of like stuff that they announced for Disney Plus that's like distinctly Disney. Honestly, other than like
you got High School Musical.
Oh,
the series, the musical.
High School Musical, the series. But I mean, like
the musical, the series.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But that's
only. That's
one,
very Disney.
Isn't that the only one though? Like the only like original Disney thing that they other than like the Lady and the Tramp live action remake and stuff like that. Like there's some things. It's just like
there's some things.
You know, it would be sick to get like have a Disney Plus. Like I think we said this. Like it would be sick to have Disney Plus be like the home for like the stuff that's
dead.
Yeah, the stuff that we thought was dead. Like it would be sick to have Tron come back. It would be dope to have something. I don't know, something long gone kind of come back, you know?
It'd be cool to have to throw an Artemis Fowl movie on there. Wait a minute. I'm a whole back for a few minutes on that.
No. I think we're pretty much done with this. We've talked for literally almost an hour about this.
It's alright. It's again.
We're gonna clip it. We're gonna clip it.
Clip it. Okay, so I guess moving on. Still on the watching and reading. Tron Uprising. So I watched that. No, not Tron Uprising. Tron Legacy. Watch after Tron Uprising.
Yeah.
I just wholeheartedly just love that movie.
It's good.
So much.
It's good.
Like, you know, some people like it, some people don't. But I love it so much. I recognize some of those faults, but I just love it. It's the world is so great. I like Sam, Jeff Bridges, Cora. I think that was my introduction to Olivia Wilde. So that, you know, I will always love Tron Legacy for that. But just looking at the effects, man, like they still hold up, man. Like there's some shots I'm like, okay, that's clearly like a green screen, but most of it is just like, oh my god, this. Well, I was thinking about like if it came out now, I think people would still be impressed. But I think now people have started to hit on like full CGI worlds, so I think it would get that hate, but it still holds up. I was gonna say the graphics, the effects today, and it's the light cycles. Like those are the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Like, and the trails have like liquid, and the trails for everything look so freaking cool.
Mm-hmm.
Man. I can't get over it. Even in Tron Uprising, I was like,
no.
This is the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah, no, you're 100%. Tron's aesthetic is so unique for a film that I don't think it ever can be replicated in anything else.
Is it just the neon, the abundance of neon? Maybe, but
I think it's the neon in contrast with like the black, harsh color. Like it just pops so well, and like the orange versus blue is so like, like it's kind of like the Luke green versus red, but it's like so distinct that if I watched, you know, it's just dope. It's good. It's real good.
Like, I love the aesthetics of it, but even the story itself, I still like. And CGI Jeff Bridges was fun to get back to after all these years.
Yeah.
So I will say this. So like I'm never like, yo, this looks real. It doesn't look as bad as I remember.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think it holds up. Like again, I'm never like, yo, this is Jeff Bridges young. Like the Marvel movies have done a pretty good job. Like much better job with it, like with Michael Douglas and stuff like that.
Well, they had bigger budgets and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Too, so. But like, it still holds up to a degree.
Like, I agree. From what I remember at the time going into the theater and seeing it with my friend, and I was just like, "Yo, this looks crazy." Like, because it looked good back at the time, and now it's like it's aged a bit, but like it still looks better than some.
I was about to say like when like Marvel has had like
some
look really good, some look kind of, but like I think it maybe okay, I'm gonna finish my thought. It looks better than what Star Wars has been doing with this teenage with like Leia and Luke and Red Skywalker. And they try to hide it better. They did hide it a bit better in that movie, but what was it? Last Jedi?
I think you're. More of it? Oh God, yeah.
No.
Rise of Skywalker, where they had a young Luke Skywalker fighting young Carrie.
They only showed it for a little.
God, what? Gross. Like, ugh.
No, it didn't look good, but they hit it better than I think it might have been Rogue One actually.
You think if you're thinking of Grand Moff Tarkin?
I am, but I think was there another character they did that with?
Carrie Fisher. Oh, No, they didn't do it with what's his face.
They didn't do it with Carrie Fisher. Or not?
No, they did. They did it with Carrie Fisher. They didn't
no, they
do
did.
it with.
I was talking about something else.
Oh God, I'm thinking.
I feel like there's another character that they like. They de-aged or something like that.
It's not what's his face. The main, the rebellious guy. You know, that guy.
Oh my god.
Who's that?
Forrest Whitaker.
I know it's Forrest Whitaker. What's his character's name though? Who cares?
They did it with him. They de-aged him.
I don't think so. He has like a very short.
Maybe I think of Grandma Tarkin and that's it. But
no, because I don't think they de-aged. Well, they didn't do anything for Darth Vader because he was in the tube for most of it.
Okay, maybe I'm just saying with Grandma Tarkin and Olivia Maya.
Yeah.
But maybe it's because the uncanny valley thing.
Yeah.
Like Grandma Tarkin, I never thought that looked good, but also they kept showing it. I thought it was just the one scene. No, they kept showing it. But maybe it's the uncanny valley thing. But like I'm like Tron Legacy, I think that looks better than Grandma Tarkin, to be honest.
Yeah. MK11's Arnold Schwarzenegger is like better than most stuff. I just don't think it. I feel like you shouldn't even mostly try it if you don't think you can really do it. But I do think that CGI Jeff Bridges actually holds up pretty well. You notice
it's not a great effect, but it holds up more than you would think.
Yeah, you notice it. You definitely notice it more, but it's.
I didn't notice it as much as I thought, though. Like in the real world, when Jeff Bridges like turn, and that's like the first reveal. I'm like, oh, I was expecting to go, ooh. I was like, huh. It's more like, all right.
Well, they usually put CG Bridges in a lot of like harsh light. Like I think when he first meets him, he's in orange. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like they probably wanted to make sure that
but
they
in the real world,
well, because I think
look at this technology. Bro.
Yeah, because I think the main issue is probably like just lighting and how it reacts to someone's talking. Because like, at least that's the issue I noticed. It just looks weird. I don't know. I always think of Grand Moff Tarkin because like he actually talks for a lot. And it just looks.
I don't think like I think the movement of the head and everything to the rest of the body, like I only saw it once, but I was like, this something. It's not just the fact that I know it's CGI face, but something's off about the movements here. It's weird.
Yeah, I agree. But Tron Legacy.
It's like someone put on Twitter, I think it was like a year ago, like what is like something that's like below 50%, but movies still like love, not guilty pleasure, but you just love it, and Tron Legacy was one of my options. That's a 51%, but like, I love Tron Legacy so much. It's great. It's a great movie. Sad we never got a sequel, and
should have been Tron Supremacy, baby.
It's every so often we get like, oh, is it still being worked on? Like, I think like some fake news, but some like maybe. I know there's a more recent interview like maybe 2 months ago with the director. He's like, it's up to Disney. It's like, I know there's still some demand for it. Maybe Disney Plus. I mean, we'll see. But then after I watched Tron Legacy, I watched the Flynn Lives short thing they did, and that made me so hyped. It's so weird too, like that short.
Yeah.
Because clearly, like the filmmakers, like, yo, we want to make this. It's such an interesting little piece.
Yeah, very much like a passion project kind of feeling. So.
And I don't know if I made it up in my head or not, but I think there might have been another thing. I didn't watch it recently. I think I might have seen it years ago. Like one of the characters you saw early on in the movie, he's the son of like the corporate douchebag in the first movie, and he's in communication with the main evil program in the first movie, and so that would have been like a part of the third movie. I don't know if that was just like they said that would have been a part of it, or that was an actual thing I saw. I can't remember, but I know to some degree that was, I think, planned.
I'll have to look into that because I'm curious more about.
I just don't remember.
Yeah.
I just remember hearing like, oh, the son from the corporate douchebag is in communication with the program from the first movie. And I was like, that sounds cool. Yeah, Tron's amazing. Tron Uprising made us go down this whole rabbit hole, but it was great. But more Disney Plus. I watched I don't know if I think it still has more episodes, but the Mandalorian documentary. They release episodes every like week or two, I think. But it's really interesting how they made that show, especially with like the video screen behind them that they did, like that new technology that they were working on with like Lion King and not Lion King, but like Jungle Book. But then they like using game engines to make a video screen that could work. Like you don't just need so you don't have a green screen or a blue screen behind you.
Oh, so they're not just looking at nothing. So
yeah,
the actors have like some sort of visual.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, very cool.
It's I think that'd be the most interesting. That's the most interesting part, which I think it's like episode 2 or 3. I would recommend that episode alone because yeah, it's really cool. How they show that off. It's really dope. Very cool. Then movies. I watched these really recently. I watched rewatched The Road to El Dorado. I didn't watch it as a kid because I just didn't own it, but I watched it like maybe 2-3 years ago. Then I rewatched it now. Fun, very fun movie, you know? Underrated DreamWorks movie. They just, back when they made 2D animation, when they were like, let's make some interesting movies. Let's make Prince of Egypt. Let's make just a fun, lighthearted El Dorado comedy. Good times, man.
A buddy comedy, freaking El Dorado.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's a good solid movie, dude.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
And then I watched yesterday Sinbad, The Legend of the Seven Seas.
Oh my god.
I have not rewatched it. I saw it when it first came out, like at a birthday party. We all went to go see it when I was like, I don't know how old I was. We were 6, I don't know. But I was like, I watched El Dorado, and that surprised me. Let me watch some Sinbad. I remember liking it. It's fine. It's fine. It's not a bad movie. It's not like a great one. Has some really great moments, I think.
Yeah.
Overall, I think the problem is like some of the character writing, like some of the lines the characters delivered were like oh that was either like the delivery of it or just the line itself, like that was okay, interesting. Yeah. But also just the way it sets up relationships is really like they throw it at you, because like Sinbad and this prince dude, they used to be good friends but not anymore, but we don't really get much of that. It's just like, Sinbad, where you been? It's been like how long has it been? We don't know how long it's been. Yeah, it's interesting. And the CG, that's when they really tried to throw in some CG. It's pretty dated, not terrible, but they tried.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had a very similar experience to you. I remember seeing it when I was very young. I don't remember much, but surprisingly, even though I haven't seen it in literally 20 years, I do remember the sea monster part. Where they're standing on the eyeball of it or something like that.
Yeah.
I remember that, and I remember the goddess.
That was pretty rough.
I remember the goddess chick. The
goddess chick was really cool because there might be some 3D thrown in there, but that's like pretty like 2D, and like her movement is so incredible.
Yeah, I think that's what captivated me as a kid. Is like, wow, like just how the fact that she moves and the way she's like talking and how big she is, obviously. But I think that. That's I don't know. It's not necessarily fond memories, but I think it's interesting that I remember so much, even though like I haven't seen that movie in years. So I don't know. I think it's interesting.
So like it's a fun adventure, but like some of the writing's like not super strong, but some of it really is. Like there's some moments I'm like, wow, this really hits. The music is great. Again, the animation, the 2D is great. The 3D is again. That was the first like real attempt I think they put into that to really go all in with the 3D. But yeah, so decent movie.
Yeah, I might revisit both of those. I remember watching El Dorado fairly recently and thinking, what you thinking? It's fun. It's interesting. The character, the buddy aspect is hilarious. I like it. So
yeah, good stuff. Then last movie, Artemis Fowl. I have not read these books. I was always interested, but I was reading like Percy Jackson at the time, so that was where my mind was. But Artemis Fowl, the movie, oh man, that is one of those, like Blake talks about Wrinkle in Time. I had to finish that movie. But Artemis Fowl is one of those special movies that it's so interesting. It was $125 million budget movie, not even taking account
wait. I'm sorry, $125 million. That's pretty big.
It was, I think that was the number, but it was at least over 100 million. I believe
my
it was
goodness, that's
25. Not talking about the advertising, because that doesn't usually
that doesn't go into the budget.
But I'm not sure. But advertising was always weird for this movie, because they would show some, then just it would get delayed and they'd take it off. But yeah, and it was delayed several times, and I remember thinking, why did this movie have like the reshoots, and what was the budget like?
Hold on. I just stumbled on a really interesting piece of trivia that just popped up. Hold on, let me see if I can get the budget. I don't think it's showing me on IMDb. I don't think it wants to show me.
Did you go to Box Office Mojo?
Yeah, I'll go to Box Office Mojo right now. But hold on, I just stumbled on this. This is a little trivia I found when I was scrolling through IMDb. Listen to this.
Okay.
Harvey Weinstein was producer on this movie. However, following the disclosure of his sexual misconduct, Disney removed Weinstein as the producer and terminated its production partnership with the Weinstein Company. This movie was co-produced with the frickin' Weinstein Company?
Is that like a big deal?
I mean, I think that's interesting given that Disney owns the books. Why would they feel the need to do that?
Okay, I see what you mean.
I mean, the Harvey Weinstein stuff's weird and creepy, but like, I just
meant because like
I think that's
a bunch of movies work.
Weird. Like, why?
Do they not typically work with other?
I mean, I just think it's interesting that they don't. But why would they need to? Is my question. Like, was the budget so big that Disney's like, yo, well,
maybe.
Artemis Fowl. We're talking. This is good.
That plays into it, like the budget, the fact that it was delayed multiple times, the reshoots. The multiple directors, they could not get a director to stay.
Is it? But it doesn't put what's it called to shame, right? For the Flash movie.
Oh no, that nothing could beat that. Nothing. But it just like baffled me. Like, why this movie? A movie that is based on a series of books that they produced. Mm-hmm. Why is this the one that has all the reshoots and everything? Like New Mutants, I could be like, yeah, sure. Like that's another can of worms in itself, but that's sure I can understand that. But like, why Artemis Fowl? You know, the Percy Jackson movie didn't have this much issues, and that was also a book series produced by Disney. But what a movie! I told Blake about this yesterday. Josh Gad, he narrates half the movie, and then pops up with the narration back with the last 5 minutes. He has a super, oh yes, Artemis Fowl. Artemis Fowl. Oh, his kid. He's the one. Super deep voice. Judi Dench and Colin Farrell are in the movie for like 5-10 minutes. Probably. I think Colin Farrell was only there for like 3 days of shooting. The MacGuffin. I talked to Blake about this. Book series, especially children's book series, have MacGuffins. You know, Percy Jackson and the MacGuffin, Harry Potter and the MacGuffin. You know. That's fine. That's just, it's easy, fun way to do books for kids. But I don't even know what the MacGuffin was. Like, maybe I just didn't hear a line of dialogue. But I was like, it's a powerful magic device. I don't know what it does. I still don't know what it does. I've seen the whole movie. I don't know. Acting. I'm not gonna blame actors. You know, 'cause, children. The main guy, that was his first role. But just. No one puts in a good performance in this movie. It is incredible. Hour and a half, incredible. I
am so excited. I gotta watch this because A Wrinkle in Time was my jam. With how, like I can't. Oh man, that movie got made. Like, and yeah, you're right. By the way, I looked it up. $125 million. That's a god dang, dude. That's a lot of money. How much did we say Tron was made for? Tron Legacy was made for? Granted, that was a few years ago. So I mean, inflation changed it. But
still, I feel like.
But the fact
the level of polish on Tron's effects and everything.
That was versus 10 years ago. So I'll look this up in a second. I just want to know. Okay.
Also, the reason the effects look so good in Tron Legacy is because they had like 2 years of post production that they could just fine tune everything, and that was amazing to hear.
Budget was $170 million.
All right.
So not too much more. I'm gonna put this in the inflation calculator. So let me hold up. All right, hold up. Let me see. So, it was 2010 that movie was made. 2019, enter the amount of money, $170 million. Let's see. Oh. Okay, let's see. Oh, shoot. Wow, inflation is a monster. Oh, actually, hold on. Let's see. In 2010 would cost $204,468,923 in 2019.
That doesn't sound right.
Hold on, I'm trying to think. Maybe I'm doing this backwards.
I don't know. But either way, you see where the money went in Tron, and it makes sense. Artemis Fowl was like, where did the money go? I don't understand. I don't get it.
I mean, I have to see it to believe it, but I mean,
because most of Tron is in the grid, and that makes sense. Artemis Fowl, you have some parts that take place in like the pure fantasy world, but a lot of it takes place in like the mansion. Because to be fair, I heard that's where like happens in the book. But like, what the heck?
If in 2010 I purchased an item for... But, like, I think that's fascinating that, like... Why did this movie struggle so much? I feel like it shouldn't have.
I don't know.
In terms of finding directors and stuff, right?
I don't know. That's why I'm so baffled. Like, this, Artemis Fowl, again, a book. Just based off a children's series book. Children's book series, I meant to say. Of all things, I don't know why, but... It was quite an adventure. I fell asleep halfway through, but that's because I watched it like at 12 or 1 o'clock, like around 1 o'clock. But then I finished it. Wow, just what a time.
Okay, so 2010, the budget for Tron Legacy was $170 million. In 2020, the budget would be almost $200 million, $199 million. So,
all right,
17.6%.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes more sense.
So if we went the opposite direction. And we put in 125.
Oh no, Blake, don't do this. Don't do this to Artemis Fowl.
No, we gotta do this to Artemis Fowl. Screw Artemis Fowl. So but back in 2010, in 2010, the budget for Artemis Fowl would have been $146 million.
Jeez.
Dude, where did it go? I mean...
I don't know where it went. You watched the movie, Blake, and tell me where it went. Maybe you'll find the answer.
It had...
But I told Blake, from what I heard, like, most of the shots in the original trailers are not in the movie.
Yeah.
And I put this into perspective for Blake. This movie was so bad they put on Disney Plus. But then I told Blake, New Mutants, a movie that technically isn't even theirs, that has been delayed, has had reshoots and all this junk. That's a movie you think Disney would just once this all happened, like, screw it, let's throw it on Disney Plus. No, New Mutants are as of this point, still playing and putting in theaters. Artemis Fowl, they're like, nah, screw this, let's throw it in Disney Plus.
I imagine this was in production for some time, right?
Yes.
Because, I mean, they've owned the book. The books are a little old at this point.
Yeah, I assume this was in talk / pre-production for a while.
I remember, because yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. Like, what the heck? Like, Wrinkle in Time, I can understand, like, why that flopped and failed and did the way it did. It's probably just because the director, from what I understand, is not... She directs mostly documentaries / biopics. Why they chose her to direct a fantasy kids story, I don't know why, but okay. This one's different because this is Disney owned. Disney owns the property already. And I know that you can't, and like I was saying last time we were talking about this, like, you can't take a movie, can't take a book and plop it into the script maker and be like, oh, there's a script now. Like, you can't do that. But how do you mess it up so much? Like, what the heck happened? Like, why, first of all, why even make it? Like, the books being popular is one thing, but then to be all like, all right, let's make a movie now. It's like, why? Kids like the books.
Because Harry Potter did it.
But that's the thing. Is Disney really still trying to beat Harry Potter after all
Shut
these
up, Blake.
years.
We're all trying to beat Harry Potter.
James Cameron.
Even Warner Brothers trying to beat Harry Potter.
Yeah,
The Fantastic Beasts, and they're supposedly planning like 5 or 6 movies
that are never coming out. It's the crimes of it's the freaking Fantastic Beasts, right?
Yeah.
Are they still doing that, or are they done? I don't know, because the last movie came out like 2 years ago.
Either after Grindelwald or around when it was coming out, they're like, we could plan like 5 or 6 of these bad boys. Like a bunch. It was like not even just a trilogy. It was like a bunch.
Remember when the Power Rangers movie came out? The live action one, and then Saban Entertainment was like, "Oh, we're gonna make like 12 of these, like 12 movies," and we were like, "12? You guys just barely made the one, and people barely liked them."
Make the one. Yep.
And
even I barely liked the movie.
Yeah, even I barely liked the movie. I thought it was weird, but
it's interesting.
Ironically, Blue Ranger is one of my mains in Power Rangers Battle for the Grid.
He's the best character in the movie.
But like, this is the interesting thing where it's like, to me, it's so weird to have. I don't know, how do I put it? Like, to have Disney of all people be all like, "Oh yeah, cinematic universe right here, baby. Let's go. We're gonna make like 15 Artemis Fowl movies. Get those bad boys in the production. I want a trilogy. Screw that. I want a saga." Like, Disney's Disney. They don't freaking need this stuff. Like, they don't need to do it anymore. Like, Marvel's already generated them more money than anybody. And Star Wars is still doing them good work, even though they did the Star Wars thing. Disney doesn't need it, and yet they feel like, that's what my thing is. Was this a passion project? Like, was this someone walking in like, "You know what, Artemis Fowl? I got your next movie franchise right here, baby. Got it right here for you." Or was it like Disney being like, "We want another cinematic universe that we can fully control," or something? Like, I got it, man. I cannot wait to find this stuff out.
I don't know. Watch it and find out, homie.
Yeah,
I'll move on to my games.
Go for it.
So I've been playing. I played for like 2, maybe 3 months on stream. Persona 5 Royal. I beat Persona 5 Royal. I played the base Persona 5 game that came out. I think I said all that before. Royal is fantastic. It is the best version of Persona 5, the definitive version that everybody should go out and play. And I think, yes, even if you have played Persona 5, the base version, if it's been like, long enough, I think you should play Royal. Because the things they add is great. Extra social links, just refining the combat, adding more mechanics and things like that. It's freaking great. Giving you more opportunities to hang out with social links. By the end, I maxed out almost all of them, and that was... Yeah, I maxed out almost all of them. I think there's only like 2 or 3 I hadn't maxed out. Where versus like Persona... Like, I did way more than the original Persona 5, just because the game lets you do so much. And I messed up with some of my like priorities and doing like, what do you call it? Like the efficiency of it all. I was like, I messed up a few times, but still I was able to rank out most of them. But yeah, just freaking great. With Royal in mind, like versus Portable of Persona 3 or Golden, I would say this is the best Persona game just overall. 3 is still my favorite, but I think just like the style, the menus, the quality of life, the combat, just it's all refined to such a T in Persona 5. It's the best one so far in terms of that. But I think also just like overall, I think this has the strongest cast. Just like overall, like I have my favorite stuff. I think just the depth of the characters plus the what do you call it? Just the energy that they all have together. I think it's just overall the strongest. Again, I think Persona 3 and 4, like with its characters and just like other stuff, I think does some things better. But just the overall package, I think 5 is the strongest one so far. And a big part of that is because of the mechanics and just the quality of life stuff. Just it's so good. I would hope they would do maybe Persona 3 with all the stuff, and then that'd be like the best one. But who knows? I don't know. It'd be interesting how they would change up some stuff with Persona 3 and the social links. But yeah, Persona 5 Royal was fantastic. Just great. Would recommend.
So how'd you feel about like the new character specifically?
Which one?
What's her face? Kanumi?
Oh, Kazumi?
Kazumi.
Kazumi was great, I thought. She was really cool.
You take that back! No, I'm kidding. Oh,
her story is in the latter half. Most of the new content is in the latter half of the game. But Kazumi's story and everything was really cool. I really liked her character. Aesthetic-wise, the persona and the Fancy Thieves outfit was great and all that. Just Kazumi was really cool. Nice addition to the cast, I thought.
Good stuff.
Yeah, Persona 5 Royal, great game. One of the best JRPGs I've ever played to this day still. It's really good. Yeah. Alright, and then I don't have much to say on this, the FF7 remake. Half loved it, half kind of was annoyed by it. When it goes off, it's this is the greatest video game I've ever freaking played. This is awesome. Mm-hmm. But getting to those moments is kind of a drag.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people have been feeling that way because there's just a lot of not dead space, but it takes longer to get to places. The way I described it to on my stream one time was instead of the original game would be let's go from A to B, or let's say A to D, right? Normally, in a normal situation, you go from A to B. The game's let's go from A to B to C to D to E. Then it makes it all the way to G. And it's okay, there's a lot of extra steps here. Mm-hmm. And or just there's a straight line, again, point A to point B, or just let's redraw on the map, make some reroutes here, and then now we're back. It's okay.
So to briefly ask you a question, because we ended up not turning this into a big old podcast because I didn't have too much to say on it, but I did have one thing. So given that you beat the game and you experienced the story and you did not everything, but you did a lot of the side stuff, do you feel that it's catered more towards fans of the original, or do you think it's made like any game to be universally appealing on its own?
I do think it is made more for fans of the original, but I think it is also made in a way that if it is your first experience with Final Fantasy VII, that it's if you play the original, you're good to go, oh shoot, that's awesome. But if you had, but it's 90-95% of the game is very beginner friendly if you had not played the original, but the 5 or 10%, it is kind of confusing, and you'll be what? But I think it is designed in a way where it's people aren't going to go, oh, I don't understand this, I'm not playing more. It's going to be what does this mean? I'm interested, I'm intrigued, I want to go either play the sequel or I want to go look at some of the other Final Fantasy VII stuff so I know more what's happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it is more towards the fans, but I think it is still keeping the new players in mind, which I think is pretty cool because the discussion around that game was really, really interesting between old and new fans.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's a little heavier on the fan side than it is on the beginner side. I feel like beginners would be a little bit more confused by some of the story stuff. I remember we were streaming, and I think Yui was the one who said, "Why is Tifa a cowgirl now?" Which is something that you'd only, I think, really know if you played Crisis Core, or right?
I still don't really know.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's
I think it's just a thing, right?
Yeah, but that's what she wore in Crisis Core when you go back to the village that they're from, and then you meet her in Cloud's trying to hide from her and stuff like that. So I think.
Also, that's in the original too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is
yeah.
I feel like small things like that.
He's very confused by things.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I think there's
He's a gentle soul.
Yeah, I think it is a little, just a teeny bit heavier, but I think it still balances itself pretty well. Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm in agreement.
Yeah. So I just want to bring that up because I thought it was an interesting discussion to have. Do you have anticipation for Final Fantasy VII Part 2, Cloud Returns?
I am looking forward to it. I think hopefully they'll be able to see what worked and what didn't with the even the combat, because some fights are oh, this is really cool, but others kind of a grind. So I think hopefully they'll be able to work those kinks out in the sequel. But I'm really interested because the Midgar section is very straightforward in the original game, and they open it up a bit in the remake, but it's still pretty linear still. But in part 2, which will be outside of Midgar, that's when the game opens up and becomes more of a traditional Final Fantasy game with side quests and like more places to go and like different orders and things like that. So I'm curious, like, will it just kind of be like Midgar, like there are like big sections you can do, but it won't be like a huge open world, or will it be kind of more like Final Fantasy 15 in that way? It'll be interesting to see. I'm really intrigued by the story stuff because
yeah, a lot of people were upset about the story actually, which I found surprising because I was like, it's different though, like it's it's doing some different stuff. It's not just like I thought it was. I don't know. We probably don't want to talk about this for too long, but
that's
I think it's interesting how people were mad that it wasn't identical to their childhood. I was like, really? Like, but that's boring. Like,
yeah, it's more interesting.
Yeah,
the way the remake did it, because
I mean,
because part of it I can understand, like they marketed it a certain way, but it turned out to be another thing. But I think that was the points. You're not supposed to know that,
Yeah. I think there's an interesting debate going on, especially with Last of Us 2, which I'm not going to bring up much, but I think one thing that I noticed is people don't like marketing that like is fake out. People feel that it's deceptive, and I'm like, I don't think it's deceptive because Marvel does it all the time. Right? Like there have been countless trailers where Marvel had characters taken out. And then, like, I remember Infinity War's trailer where, like, there's a shot where everybody's running towards the camera and Hulk's in the background. But Hulk isn't in Infinity War. He's only in it for, like, the first part. They instead it's the Hulkbuster armor. Mm-hmm. And people don't complain about that, but it's like, I don't think that's deceptive necessarily. I think it's just, like, they faked you out a little bit. Like,
It's clearly a way to, against, like, leaks or things like that. Like, they want you to be pleasantly surprised when you play a game.
To me,
or watch a movie.
Yeah, exactly. To me, deceptive marketing is like, yo, it's gonna be just like this, like Aliens, Colonial Marines, and like how trailers of that game look like the coolest thing ever, and then you play the game and you're like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen.
People point out, I think it's either Killzone 1 or 2. I think it's 2 that it was portrayed as a gameplay trailer, but it was full CG.
Yeah. And that's my thing is like I think there's a so when it comes to Final Fantasy VII Remake specifically, I know it's old now.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I think it's interesting how people got, I think we talked about, oh gosh, who was it? She says his tweet. I think I sent you a tweet where it's like, I wanted a burger, but I got a cake that looked like, and I was like, what? No, I don't understand that at all. Like, I can understand some grievances with, like some of the combat, and maybe even some of the story stuff, some of the slower paced missions, like, hey, let's go change water filters with Tifa. It's like, oh, okay. But I also feel like it's not trying to be the exact same thing, because I feel like obviously you can't please everybody, right? Because there would be people on both sides where it's like, if they did identical, people like, it does nothing innovative, it's no different, it's so. But I think it's interesting how people got actually upset that it wasn't identical.
Even the producers said like they didn't spoil anything, but I think from the get-go they said it's like things are going to be changed to a degree, It's not going to be the exact same story.
Yeah. So, but I thought that was interesting. A debate is just like, or discussion, to have, like, to be so upset that it's not identical to what you remember. So,
but on the positive side, I think the discussion about, like, again, new and old fans not arguing, but discussing what happened in the game and like what it means. What it means about the future of the remake series. Yeah. I thought that was super cool, and saying all that was like, it gets me excited for what they'll do next. What things will they change? What things won't they change?
I hope Aerith makes it out.
I don't know what you're talking about. Next is Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. I'm playing this a bit more with Blake here. Blake very much loves this. Blake, what are your thoughts on Battle for the Grid?
I like this game a lot. I have the incredibly hot, fresh off the grill hot take that I think it's better than almost any other, or more fun for me personally. I shouldn't say better. I don't want to say better, but more fun for me personally than any Marvel vs. Capcom game I've played.
I was about to say, I think you're crazy.
I know. I think one thing that Marvel vs. or a few things that Marvel vs. Capcom has over Battle of the Grid for sure is roster. You can't beat Marvel vs. Capcom in terms of rosters. It's incredible. Graphics and sound, I think, obviously are a big thing. Like the music in MVCs is.
So I think just like
it's beautiful.
I don't mean like the graphics, but just like presentation.
Yeah, presentation in general, obviously. I mean, but this is made by a really small team that Hasbro was just like, hey, we want you to make a freaking game. Get to work, you know. So I think for what they were able to accomplish in terms of gameplay, in terms of balance, in terms of netcode and, you know, the lobby system and the net play, the story mode, even though the story mode's like not like MK11 levels of incredibleness, it's still pretty solid for what they were able to accomplish, and I have to applaud them for that. So I mean, overall, I think the game is definitely worth a purchase. It's really cheap. It's not that expensive. Every character is really fun and unique. Like, I think that's something, is every character is super different. They feel different. You have to play them different. They have different normals and supers and stuff like that. I do think that the Megazords are a little OP.
So they're so strong.
If you can find a way to combo into them, that's bonkers. But you have to learn like which one does what.
I'm just like stay away from Blake as much as I can. Yeah. But like he might grab me or like try to do a combo. Like I don't know what to do.
Like you just have to eat that pressure, and I think that's the stuff that I'm at least glad it's not like X Factor, but it's still pretty OP. So, but what about you?
I do like it. I love Power Rangers as a franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Just I'm always keeping up with it in some way, even though I haven't watched the season since RPM really. But the game overall, I do like it. I think the choices in characters are really interesting. I think part of them are based on the Shattered Grid comic, but you can tell the love from the get-go with Power Rangers from, again, like the roster and just like everything about the game.
Mm-hmm.
The characters are great. The gameplay feels really good, but I have talked about this a bit with Blake. Something like about the core like game that just like doesn't like pull me in. Maybe it's like it's not the graphics because like I think the graphics are fine. Maybe it's just presentation of it. Maybe that's not right, but like the farthest I got, like me and Blake discussed it a bit. I think like I thought about again like Marvel's Capcom or something like BlazBlue or even things like King of Fighters. Like it doesn't feel like snappy to me, but I think it's not really meant. It feels kind of like if MK was like a tag team game, in a way.
MK11 specifically, I think.
Yeah, that's the feeling I get. But like, for example, like with things like I like that snappiness. Like BlazBlue, I think feels almost perfect to me. Like it's not too fast, but there's that speed and like snappiness to it, which I think like that's why me and Blake feel kind of even in that game. Like, I just love the feel of BlazBlue. For me, that's kind of perfect in terms of the what do you call it?
Speed.
Yeah, speed.
Combat speed
and all that.
Yeah, pace.
Yeah, but like, because I was thinking like stuff like King of Fighters is like also kind of like it's slower than things like Dragon Ball or Marvel vs. Capcom. I know you can do crazy stuff, but Blake and I are trash. So, but it does feel slower. But I think it's because like it's not going for that hyperactive tag team system. Like you could pick your team of 3, but it's not like a tag team game really. And so like I love something like King of Fighters. It's slower. So I feel like that's why it felt weird to me, but it connected like it's presenting itself like a hyperactive tag team game, like Marvel's Capcom or something like that. But it feels like an MK11 like version of that, where it's slower.
Yeah,
it's like it's not that it's slower; it's that I think because I'm used to that kind of game, like a BlazBlue Cross Tag or like a
Dragon Ball
Marvel's
Fighters,
Capcom, Dragon Ball Fighters. With that kind of game, you have expectations on the combat and like the snappiness and the speed, but then with Power Rangers, it's like my brain expects something and I don't get that. But again, the game's so great. But I feel like maybe it has to do with, like, I think just the impact of things. Again, like things like Blaze Blue feel really good when you do like a cool move, but like Power Rangers, I don't feel that impact. I would just like a little bit more impact, like when I do the EX moves, like, and I do a cool thing. It doesn't feel as good because, like, I think maybe the impact, or like again, maybe that's part of the snappiness. I don't know, but yeah,
Yeah, I can agree with pretty much almost everything you say. I think the pace for me works better because obviously I think between you and me, you're a lot more on the kind of more anime-esque speed, which I think is like, Under Night. For me and you, I think Blaze Blue, I think you're 100% right. Blaze Blue is like perfect in terms of pacing for a fighting game. It's got enough Street Fighter and just enough like anime to be crazy, but not like like MVC, where it's like, I like to think of it as a metronome for like playing music, where it's like and it's like, when I think Dragon Ball Z, I think like very fast. When I think Marvel, it's like like, it's just Marvel, because like when you're hitting buttons, like Marvel's just like, and you're just going crazy in Marvel, even more so than Dragon Ball, because Dragon Ball has like a two like kind of system, but Marvel's like like just freaking the stick and buttons and all that stuff. So I think that this is a very, like, when I agree with you. I think it has something to do with the sound effects mostly, because like when you do something bonkers, like you don't really hear, like, even when you get counter hit or something, like in Blaze Blue, I still, because we counter hit each other so much out of block, I just hear counter all the time.
Like when I think of that, I think of like the impact of like the guns with Noelle in particular. Like, it feels so good. Or like some of the, even like Dragon Ball, like when you smash him down, it feels like really good. I think
it's just the sound design, where it just feels like you didn't really, because like even the hardest hitting moves don't like explode stuff. In terms of like the sound design, I think. But I think the sound design is the part that I feel like is a little bit lacking. Like when you hit somebody, there's not really like a sound for it. But it's not.
I think little things like that would help a lot to feel like more snappy, even if the speed stayed the exact same.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I 100% agree.
Yeah, cause it was weird, because like I do like it. Like, it is fun. I do like it, and I was thinking like, but I love things like King of Fighters and Street Fighter, even though like they're not my favorite, but I still love those games. Those are way slower and like not my style at all. I still love them. So that's why I was in this weird place with it.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think it's interesting because like I think the moves themselves, they do have a certain sound effect to them that I think sounds great. Like when you shoot a gun, or when you use a special move, like this, like when Blue Ranger's doing his charge up, like the crunk crunk, like it sounds good. When you hit somebody with it, it's the same sound effect with maybe just like a little bit of punch sound. So I think that if the sound design could be beefed up a little bit, then I could definitely be with you on that same page. So I think it does.
Thank you for not hating me, sir.
No, why would I hate you? I have no reason to hate you.
Thank you for not hating me, sir. But it's a good game. You got my boy, the Quantum Ranger, the best Sixth Ranger ever.
Really good character. Like, he's
really
good.
Yes. From the little I've played, really good. You got my boy Doggy Kruger. This is all in Season Pass. You got Doggy Kruger, the best character in SPD. You got Jen, the best Ranger in Time Force. You got the best of the best, man.
And they're still adding more characters.
Yeah. You got my boy RJ, the best character in, what was I gonna say? Maybe not the best character, but he's really good. And yes, other characters in the future. Yeah. Will we get a Titanium Ranger? Will we get Black Ranger Tommy? Will we get the White Ranger from Dino Thunder? I don't know, but we'll see. We shall see. It is a fun game. You can really tell the passion, you know?
Yeah, so hats off to them. I think they're doing a really great job. I'm having a lot of fun with the game. I really am. And so yeah.
It's got to learn those combos.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I can do some crazy stuff if you don't block or move and stand in the corner and just let me hit you.
That is the problem.
Yeah. It's just that you're getting in the way of my cool combos.
Yeah, I think I know now, but I didn't. You did a long combo on me, and I was like, I don't know how Blake does that defense thing where I stop a combo, but I'm sure if I knew how to do that, I could stop this right now.
Defense thing? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Don't you do a thing where you like roll on the ground when I'm doing a combo, and like it stops the combo? I did it a few times.
No,
I was doing like a combo,
so.
then you're like in the air, and then you like stopped it.
Oh no, you're talking about armor, or like the when I go orange, right? When I start blinking orange.
Yes.
That means you reach the juggle limit. So like in the game, if you launch somebody up in the air, you can't juggle them with lights. Because then you're going to go into the auto combo, and it doesn't want you to go into the auto combo because that's broken as frick. So you can juggle people.
I thought I hit a button and then it did the thing, but I guess it was just you.
Yeah, no, it's not.
You reached that.
Yeah, I reached the juggle limit. So like if I'm in the air and I'm coming down and you hit me with a light, I'm going to immediately go down, reach the juggle limit, because it doesn't want you to do the Mortal Kombat thing where you can just juggle people with lights all day. So
wow, is this a good game? Is this a well-designed game?
Hey, I have to admit, it's actually, from what the amount I've played.
I was saying yes.
Well, just no, I know you're not. I know you're joking, but I'm just saying in general, like, I have to admit, it's pretty freaking balanced. Like, I don't feel like there's a character that I'm like. I mean, I do think what's her face is Jen Scott's her back special, where she shoots the lasers in the air. That's really good. Like, you just have to eat that. You can't do anything about it.
It has to be one of the best assists.
It's really good. Like it combos. It's perfect pressure. Mm-hmm. You can grab into it so that if they're blocking preemptively, you can grab them and combo into it. It's one of the best assists in the game. Really you just have to eat it. Even if you're doing a combo, it can still come down and hit you. Like, you just have to eat that combo. So other than that, pretty good. All things I could say.
Yeah. So then I got two more. I played Hollow Knight. I've been streaming that, I think, for the past, 2 weeks. I finished it around 32 hours. I think normally it could be in 15. But I was doing, extra stuff then to get, the good ending and fight the true boss and all that. But what a game. I played it because a friend's been asking me to play it for, 2+ years, and I just didn't get to it. Mm-hmm. But I was like, you know what, fine. I'll finally do it. And yeah, that game is fantastic. I see why people say it's one of their favorite games. It's awesome. Everything about, in the way the combat feels, the world, the Metroidvania stuff about it, it's just really well designed. Everything feels really good. The world and the lore is Dark Souls-esque, where it's you really have to piece it together through the world and everything. It's wow, I did not expect it to be that good, man. It's I was fighting that final boss, and it took me an hour and a half, because it was the true boss. So I was fighting the final boss and then the true boss. So it's one of those things where if you die on the true boss, you have to go back to the beginning and do the same 2 fights again. So I was like, I hate this boss, because it does the final boss only does 1 hit damage, but 1 life damage. The true boss does 2 life damage, and I was like, God damn it, I gotta be perfect on this stupid thing. But I finally got it, and it was amazing, and I felt so good. Yeah.
And it's only $15, people. Just get out there and buy it. I hear it's a fantastic game.
Blake, I think you would freaking fall in love with it.
I don't know, man. I don't really like my Metroidvanias. I liked Indivisible because of the combat. The Metroidvania stuff pissed me off a little bit.
I don't really like Metroidvanias that much. I don't.
Yeah, but I feel like you like them a little more than I do.
Do I?
I feel like you do. You like Metroid. You like Metroid a little more than I do. Every Metroid game I've played, I've been like.
I played some of Prime, and I was not into it because the Metroidvania stuff. I got lost, didn't know what to do, and that was it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
So, I want to get into Metroid, I just can't because it doesn't fit with me.
Yeah. The only Metroidvania that I think I liked, which wasn't a Metroidvania, was Indivisible. Other than that, I can't think of other ones that I'm like.
I hate getting lost in games.
No, I hate getting lost in games. I hate Metroidvania's gimmicks though, where it's like, hey, you see that door? You can't get in there. Bummer. Guess you better just go explore the rest of the world. Frick. And I come back and 3 hours later, oh, now you can get in. But there's another door that you need to spend 2 more hours in the game to get through. So, I'm just like, just let me in. If I'm good enough now, just let me in. Why can't I just jump up there?
But it's usually because you're not good enough yet.
I know, but
because the bosses that are in there are not good enough.
No, but there's been a few that I've really enjoyed, but they've mostly been more on the puzzle side of things, or they're like, there's two that I can think of. Teslagrad, which is more of a puzzle platformer than it is a Metroidvania. It's kind of a Metroidvania, but it's not really. It's more of a puzzle platformer than it is anything. And then Indivisible, which is more of an RPG than it is a Metroidvania. So I need something a little bit more like... I need something that's like there to like make me forget that it's a Metroidvania. And from what I know about Hollow Knight, the art in the world and all the stuff is really good. It's just like at the end of the day, it's still got that Metroidvania stuff. So I'll give it a shot. I'm not against it in any capacity. So
I think you would, just because I'm not a huge, like, I think we like agreed when my friend like recommended it to me and was talking about it. Like, I'm not a Metroidvania guy really at all. The most is like RE1, and the stuff I hate about RE1 is just getting lost, not knowing what to do. I love everything else, but like I freaking fell in love with it, and it was funny because at one point, I think after the first boss, my friend said, "I think you're gonna like this game a lot because like the way you handled that boss was like, I think he didn't expect me to be as good at it as I was, with the bosses in particular. But like, yeah, the bosses almost there's only maybe like a few." Maybe 2 or 3 I was like really annoyed at, but for the most part it felt like it was challenging enough and not like unfair.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm feeling this. I really like the bosses. It's really good.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm willing to give it a shot.
Yeah, so I just think if I liked it, I think you'll like it too, but we'll see. And yeah, do we want to talk about a big topic, or are we already like long enough?
I mean, we're pretty long enough, but if you want to talk a little bit about it, we can. Or do you want to save it for next time?
I think we'll save it for next time.
Right,
it's a pretty big discussion. This is all, again, a re-intro to the podcast. We had a lot to talk about, and we did talk a lot about stuff. Yeah.
This was just Hangouts, baby. Redux.
It was just Hangouts.
DX version. Director's cut. Go. I don't know.
But yeah, we honestly, this was a good podcast, homie. We trailed off like we usually do. Talked about interesting topics. We got some clips. Worthy clips, I think, to put on YouTube later.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah,
100% agree.
Okay, so is there anything else you want to say, Blake?
No, I think I'm good. I'm excited to do more of these, to get back into it. Make some more videos. Both ends for both of us. I think we're both going to be working hard on this stuff. So
some videos in the pipeline.
Yeah.
Let's see. So as of this recording, I finished Hollow Knights yesterday. I'll be streaming at, I think is it JBZone97? Twitch.tv/JBZone97. Put in the description if I remember, hopefully. I'll be playing some Persona 4 on Steam. I figured, you know what? Screw it.
It's time.
It's been a while. I'm going to play some Persona 4. Not all of it, at least right now. I'm just going to play like a day or two. First off, to get footage, but also to...
Said the same thing about Persona 5.
Shit, you're right. You're actually right. I did say that. So, who knows? Maybe I will. Maybe I'm that crazy. But I figured. Also, I want to vote with my wallet, so I should buy Persona 4 on Steam, so I can get Persona 3 portable on Switch one day. It will happen. It will happen.
I could see P3 coming. P3 and P4 before P5, though. But people want P5 because Joker's in Smash.
Yeah,
but
pretty much. Yeah. But like, what's interesting about that 4 that was actually done by the Japan, like internally, on the Japan team. And usually that's not what they do at all. But I know some people are like, "Where's Persona 3?" Like, guys, Persona 4 on Steam is clearly, like, so obviously a test to see if it will work. Because aside from Persona 5, Persona 4 is the most popular game they've ever made.
Yeah. That's why
the fact that it's the fact that it made records on Steam already within the first few days, they're gonna clearly bring them at some point. Whether it's just on Steam or they'll come to like current gen consoles like PS4 or like on Switch. We'll see to what degree. Yeah,
well, hey man, if they can put all the way to P1, that would be interesting.
I'd be down, man. I want to play a P2.
Well, I know. Well, that's what I was about to say. People would be really happy about P2 getting both parts.
I really want to play P2. Yeah.
But
and obviously, I know I'm like, am I crazy enough to play P4 after I very recently finished P5? Maybe. But I'm 100% crazy enough to play Persona 3 Portable again. It'll be the second time for Portable, but for overall, it'll be the third time for Persona 3.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm down. I can't wait. think I was gonna say something else. All right, so some Persona 4. If I can hold myself back, I think I'll be playing some Ori in the Blind Forest because it's not very long, and I'm in a bit of a platforming mood with Hollow Knight and everything. And then I think after that, it's not very long, so I think I'll beat that and then start some Astral Chain finally on the Nintendo Switch by Platinum Games. I'll be riding the Astral Chain.
Dang.
I can't wait.
Nice. I guess as for me, I don't plan on doing anything too crazy. I'm not streaming, obviously.
But yeah, Blake might pop up.
Yeah, Blake might join John for one of his streams or a few of his streams because it was a lot of fun when I got a chance to do it. Now,
Nice.
I'm debating on whether or not to do something crazy.
Oh.
It might be the death of me.
Oh.
But I'm going to talk to John after the podcast, and we'll see what he thinks.
God, he's shaving his head. I knew it.
I'm shaving my head? But nobody can see me, so who cares?
Oh, you're right then. It's not a big deal.
I mean, no, it's nothing like that. But it might be the death of me, but we'll see. I'll ask John, because I'm curious as to if he thinks it's a good idea or if it's worth it.
Oh,
so
boy.
I'll ask him. But that's all for me, I think. Expect some stuff in the future. I'll be putting in the work, so I'm just very hungry right now.
Yeah,
so
same.
gotta fuel up. Then gotta fill up my stomach with some
Gotta
game
get
fuel.
that gamer fuel.
Freaking John.
There we go. We got it. We're in sync, man. We're back,
yeah,
baby.
we're back, baby. Just
back,
Hangouts, baby.
We're going.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's it for me. So, John?
Yeah. Everybody, thank you for listening to our very long ramblings, but we got some good combos and topics. And we'll be back in the future with more podcasts, discussions, gameplays, and even more.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's it from us, and we'll see you guys next time with the more videos to come.
Yep.
See ya, people.
Flynn lives, baby. Flynn lives.